The Carolina Hurricanes, they tie the Stanley Cup Final Series at 2-2 after their 5-3 win over Vegas last night. Game 5 set for tomorrow night. Puck drop at 8 o'clock. All of the action will be right here on WGR with pregame starting at 7:30. The NBA Final rolls on tonight. The Knicks lead the Spurs 2-1 in the series. Tip-off set for 8:30. Mandatory minicamp underway for the Bills. Joe Brady, along with Josh Allen and a handful of others, spoke with the media yesterday. In case you missed any of it, you can find it on demand at WGR550.com. Looking around the NFL, Colts coach Shane Steichen said wide receiver Alec Pierce, dealing with the ankle injury, could end up returning a couple of weeks into training camp. Jacoby Brissett and Josh Sweat are both at Cardinals minicamp, but neither of them are practicing. The Bengals, they restructured Joe Burrow's contract. It frees up $10 million in cap space for the coming season. And ESPN's Adam Schefter said he thinks it's more likely than not that Aaron Donald will unretire. Schefter stressed afterwards that this is just a guess, but the ingredients are there to make it happen. And in baseball, the Blue Jays, they fell to the Phillies 5-2 yesterday. Tonight, the Yankees take on the Guardians at 6:40. The Red Sox take on the Rays at 6:40 as well. And the Mets, they host the Cardinals at 7:10. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
Man, that show makes this sound like the biggest nerd factory ever. I said that someone that is, of course, has liked some of the Star Wars, but
I'm watching the Star Wars
cow.
back right now.
I mean, just like someone walk in and just give wedgies right now. What?
My wife had never seen Star Wars before a week ago.
Which one? There's 100 million hours of them.
Any of them.
A New Hope. What'd you start with?
We started with A New Hope.
We
started with A New Hope.
I was ready for you to say you started with episode 1.
No, we're on episode 1.
Okay, you went through 4, 5, 6, and now you're on to 1?
It's been a long time since I've seen episode 1. It's something.
It's pretty bad.
I love it, but it is something.
Yep.
Holy cow. I liked the originals more than I think I did when I was a kid.
Well, they're like actual real movies,
I think they've also remastered them a lot. When you Disney Plus is where I'm watching these.
Sure, yeah.
And it just looks like a movie that was made 15 years ago, not 50 years ago. And I'm assuming just because they remastered it, I'm assuming.
Sure.
And you know that, by the way, because when they get to the Force Ghost, Hayden Christensen is one of the Force Ghosts. He wasn't alive, I think, when this movie was made, so they must have done something to this movie.
Yeah.
Along the way. Yeah, the prequels are. I'm just gonna stick with their something.
Look at this.
I love them. I love them.
Look at this.
I love them.
Softening a little bit. Looking back a little. What was I watching when I was 12? Why did I think this was good?
Yeah. There are some things that you watched and loved as a kid where
it doesn't hold up.
It doesn't hold up, but you'll go back and watch it, and nostalgically you'll feel good about it. If you didn't watch it at the time and now you try to, you have no shot. If I had not seen the first 3 Star Wars movies as a kid and loved them, I don't think I could watch them right now.
You mean episodes 1, 2, 3?
I don't want to include 3. Three's good. The first 2. Although I'm not at 3 yet.
Wait till you get to
Might
3.
be a couple weeks, but yeah, once we get to 3, I'll let you know. I feel like in my head that's on its own.
Yeah.
But we started with 4.
Well, you know what? Now
I think most are supposed to do. You're supposed to start with 4.
Now I'm glad we played this open because I feel great about how this has gone. starting to see the light, starting to realize.
I can understand from your perspective as someone that was. How old were you when the prequels came out?
The prequels, I was in college or
Okay.
high school.
All right, I can understand how someone would watch them at that point and be like, "This
What are we doing?
is ridiculous."
Well, I mean, I was as excited
There you
as
go.
anybody, but what on earth? I had to pretend to like them like a lot of people pretended to like them for a while.
So there you go, nerd radio.
Yeah, total nerd radio. I speaking of like this kind of genre, I had a dream last night. You ever seen
Wow, this is back-to-back shows on our air with Dream Radio.
who's a dream? Bulldog?
I think Shope mentioned yesterday. I heard that he had a dream the Bills won the Super Bowl for the first time ever.
That wasn't mine. Have you seen on movies? Have you seen the movie Inception?
Yes.
Okay, Chris, Owen, and we were just talking about Bulldog. Owen, Joe Kelly. You guys have seen Inception?
Of
yes?
course.
I've not. No.
Oh, man.
No.
All right.
I've not.
You got to get on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a
it's
great
awesome.
movie.
Yes.
The concept in Inception is like there are levels to dreams.
Yes.
So I had a dream last night that I got traded from here.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah. Like another radio station bought my contract. When I came into work, like, you've been traded to another station. I'm like, I didn't even know you could do that. Really?
What'd you get traded for?
They just bought my contract. They paid
Okay.
a transfer fee.
A transfer fee.
Yeah, it was a transfer. It was a transfer fee. They paid for my contract, and they just like, I'm gone.
So it's not like when Al Michaels got traded for Oswald the Lucky Rabbit?
I don't think so, but I do know that
Because
story.
that's a real story.
Yes, Al Michaels
That
did
was the
get
cost.
traded.
Yeah. ABC wanted Oswald
Yeah.
for Al Michaels.
Yeah, and he got traded. So I got traded, and in the dream, I'm in here talking to you guys. Like I just didn't even know that could happen. Holy cow! Like this is real. And on and on.
Yeah.
And then later in the dream, I dreamed that I came in having woken up to talk about it, and everyone's like, "No, that was a dream. That wasn't real." And here I'm on. So I'm.
Oh, you were in another level.
Layered.
Wow.
Yes.
That's hardcore.
And then when I woke up,
check your belongings this morning. Make sure no one was.
when I spin the totem, when I woke
Yeah.
up from that, wait a minute, what's going on? So
How confident are you right now that you're not dreaming?
as confident as normal.
Something's in the air in that studio because Mike opened their show yesterday talking about
yeah.
a dream he had about the Bills winning the Super
Right.
Bowl.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
the funniest thing he could be traded for. You get traded to ESPN Radio for General Grievous.
That would've
The
been
rights
good.
to General
right,
Grievous.
he can sit in here and have a goofy voice and spin 4 lightsabers.
Exactly. There you go.
You know,
fun.
whatever. There's a lot of moments in those prequels where it all goes off the rails, and number 1 is when Yoda starts jumping around. But anyway,
that is not number one.
ridiculous.
There are worse number ones.
Utterly
There
ridiculous.
are worse number ones than that.
Anyway, 803-0550. Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Bills at Mandatory Minicamp. We'll talk with Joe Marino at 7. We'll talk with Sal at 9 on a couple, roster battles. I think we've got a couple. And inside linebacker for Caleb Elarmzor, whether or not he's going to be a day one starter. And also at corner with Davis Nigbinosin and Max Hairston, like what happens there. So a couple things to get to from Bills mandatory minicamp, which continues on. Last night, Carolina and Vegas, a 2-2 series now.
Yep.
Watched a good chunk of that game, and it's honestly, the ratings are delivering, and it's great. It's a great series. It's great hockey.
I was going to say, the quality of the hockey
It's great hockey.
has surprised me a little bit because Carolina sometimes can drag a series into unwatchability, but that has not happened at
They
all.
were Montrealing Vegas last night. Vegas had 7
yeah.
shots through like half the game.
And they were more quality chances than
Yes.
Like Carolina wasn't just throwing the puck from like the wall and hoping something went in. There were good chances. There were breakaways. I mean, Eichel had an amazing chance to tie the game with like a minute left. He cannot shoot right now.
He's not scoring. He's got 2 goals in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's not scoring.
He is doing the Josh Norris thing. I'm noticing him like on power plays where I'm like, he's not shooting it. Shoot it. And he's just passing it off. He's still making an impact because speed, defense, and passing. He's got all that like 9.5 out of 10.
If we could talk about him,
there's a Norris thing right now where I'm expecting him to not want to shoot it right now.
Yeah, I get that. I felt like that happened with Eichel in his last year here. What do you have,
Yes,
like
he
2
had the
goals
injury.
and 20 assists? And
He had 2 goals and 16 assists in 21 games.
which is kind of what his playoffs are right
he
now.
has 2 goals and 18 assists in 19 games in this one.
Over the course of a player's career, I don't know if you lose a little something or you just settle into a role, because when he got here, he was, I don't know, I thought there was the potential to become an elite goal scorer.
Right.
The shot is so good, and the dangle, of course, is very good too, but he would absolutely roast goalies from angles that they thought were impossible.
Yeah.
And what's his career high in goals? Is it like 27?
36.
36.
That was here, but he's never topped. He's only topped 30 one other time.
Okay, 36 goals, and did he miss a couple games that year?
He missed 14 games.
Yeah.
So he had 1 year that was 2019-20. So that's the year actually COVID shuts the league down.
Right.
He was going to get to 40.
40 goals.
Yeah.
And now he does not look like a player that is even interested in scoring 40 goals.
No.
He looks
he's only got to 30 one time in Vegas in 5 years.
It looks like he has, for better or for worse, like you can say that was a blip. He's a completely committed 200-foot player.
Right.
And does not think about wanting to get to 40 anymore, almost like he doesn't care about it. So, or he can't,
might realize
or
that-
he just can't do it.
He might realize I've got a good shot, but I'm better at other things at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, when the Olympics were happening, we were trying to figure out like what was wrong with the Sabres power play, and I looked up numbers on like Tage and his shooting percentage on the power play and where that compared to other guys in the league that have shot the puck as much as he has. And Tage was like one of the worst shooters on the power play in the league in the last like 5 years. But if you look at that list, who's right down there near him was Eichel. Like Eichel's shooting percentage, power play wise, was also pretty low. I'm assuming he is much more successful on that man advantage because of the passing. I mean, did you see his power play stats on the year? He had 1 goal and 27 assists.
Wow. Yeah. Right.
It's insane. So yeah, because when you think of his rookie moments or his early career moments, they're all goals, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's the
Tons.
He had a goal against Columbus, right?
Oh, Boone Jenner. He strips Boone Jenner.
Boone Jenner. Yeah.
I was there for that one. It was a shot, an impossible shot.
It was a goal against the Red Wings where he scored from like the goal line and roofed it somehow.
There was one against Washington where he like danced a guy, toe dragged, and like roofed it from the goal line.
The
too.
Nashville 3-on-3 overtime goal where he just walked down the middle and ripped it past.
I remember
like, he's not doing that.
He
stuff
did one.
anymore.
He had one on Marc-Andre Fleury when Fleury was with Vegas. Where he came in and pulled a move, and he beat Fleury, and Fleury looked up to the heavens like, I knew I had it. And like he used to absolutely confound goaltenders, and now he just doesn't.
Yeah.
So he's still obviously a great player.
No, he might be the best defensive center in hockey.
Right. It's almost like he decided, I'll just do that instead, and that'll be the thing I do.
Right.
And I'll do that, and I'll distribute, and we'll win a lot of games. And
right. I felt like early in his career, like this guy was going to be Stamkos, and now I feel like he's closer to Barkov.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Like how many
faster?
How many times has Barkov gone over 30 goals? Probably more. I mean, Barkov's a pretty complete player.
Eichel's done it twice, and Barkov has done it twice.
Okay, there you go. That's not bad then.
Yeah. Eichel gets a few more assists, but yeah, they're pretty close.
Brian Mazurowski pointed out this morning, did you see who scored the game-winning goal? Jordan Staal.
Jordan Staal.
How old is Jordan Staal?
36?
37.
37?
37-year-old Jordan Staal has a goal in every game in the series.
Is he going to win the Conn Smythe?
He might be the other candidate to do it now. If Carolina wins and Vegas doesn't win, maybe it's Jordan Staal. 4 goals, 4 games for Jordan Staal.
He had only had 1 in the first 3 rounds. So can you win the Conn Smythe just having an insane finals? I mean, him being the captain might even help that a little bit.
It very well might. And of like the story of it too. If Staal were to win that, Eric Staal didn't win it, but
it might help him if his brother had won it 20 years ago.
It might have. But the point is, I'm glad you kind of referenced it there. Like 37 years old. Oh, he had 1 goal in 3 series before this, so he didn't show up for the playoffs. But his team won some games, and he had another opportunity to show up for the playoffs.
Yeah,
like the Alex Tuck comparisons are pretty strong. 37. Granted, he's only on an AAV of like $3 million. Staal is, so a different kind of contract. But 37 years old, still playing.
He has been in Carolina for 15 years now.
Yeah. Do you remember what he was traded for?
No, but I remember where he was. He was traded at the draft, maybe in Pittsburgh.
Traded from Pittsburgh.
I think Bettman announced in Pittsburgh at the podium that Stahl was getting traded. If I remember that right, it's a long time ago.
I think it was for the 8th overall pick.
Okay,
I could be wrong. But it was like a pick for a player, and he went to Carolina to play with Eric Stahl. So anyway,
he has a lot of nicknames on HockeyReference.com.
Oh, Jordy.
Jordy is one of them. Stalzy is one of them.
Jay Cool.
No.
On the broadcast, they said they call him Jordo.
Jordo also that's next to Jordy.
Jordash.
No, we don't have. We don't have that.
It's an old clothing company.
You're missing Staller. Stahl Bunyan.
Stahl Bunyan.
Shorty Jordy.
Yes, that's good. He used to score all the shorthanded goals. Like that. When I think of him in Pittsburgh, that's what I think of. Penalty killing forward that scored 1 million shorthanded goals.
He had 7 in his rookie season.
No, Mr. Jord-handed. It's right there for you if you want to take another short. No,
you know what's funny though? He had 7 shorthanded goals in his rookie year with Pittsburgh. He's had 8 in 14 years in Carolina.
Okay.
And then you're also missing Gronk.
Oh, of course.
Which is on here. Of course, Gronk.
I don't know. What do you want from me? Why is he Gronk?
I don't know. I could probably think of other players in the league that might deserve that nickname more than him, but I'm not. I don't know. He is not. By the way, speaking of guys like don't score as much as you might think they do, he's never scored more than 20 goals in Carolina in 15 years. He's always got 13, 15, 17 goals. Like he never scores 20 goals.
And then 20 this year.
He had exactly 20 twice in Carolina. He's not had more than 20 since he was in Pittsburgh.
He went 14 years between 20-goal seasons.
Yeah. So the fact that he has 5 in this series.
4. Oh, yeah, 5. Yeah.
He's not a goal scorer.
They did 4 in the series. Whatever. He's got a goal in every game. And Carolina has scored at least least 4 goals in every game.
Yeah. His goal last night was it lucky? He was falling down.
Yep.
Like he was not really trying to shoot it that way. It was, I'm falling, let me just see if I can whack at this. And then it goes in. Is that full credit on it? Like I feel like you got a little lucky there. Because if you weren't falling down, I'm not sure if you even would have scored the goal. It was maybe impressive, nonetheless. But
well, it's 2-2.
And they might go back to Freddie Anderson in the next game. Brind'Amour talked to did he even reference the Sabres series in the Eastern Conference Finals, or somebody did, that Brind'Amour said that Anderson just needed a break, and that either he or somebody else referenced the Cam Ward Gerber thing in 06. Like, Ward went out, came back in, and they won. And that he might be thinking, like, that worked then, I'll do that now. Bussy got a game, went well, Anderson just needed a day off, and I'm gonna put him back in. So he might switch back to his goaltender. Which would kind of be crazy after the other guy won a Stanley Cup final game.
The Sabres goalie rotation has made it to the final?
It has.
Here we are.
It's made it to Carolina. Yeah. Although I don't think Lindy ever would have made a switch after a win.
That's a great question.
He could have. You could have gone into the playoffs saying, I'm going to rotate no matter what.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
loss, doesn't matter.
Didn't the rotation disappear? And what really happened was just like, I'm going to decide how I feel because we don't have a number one?
Correct.
Like, really.
It became make it, take it.
Right. In the regular season, it was a rotation. In the playoffs, it wasn't.
Right.
That's it. Like,
it wasn't a real rotation.
It was not a true rotation. It was play, and if I don't feel like you're playing well enough, I'll switch you to somebody else.
Right.
So, I don't know, would they have done that in the regular season? Had they done that in the regular season, it's worth asking, like, how many games would they have played? If it had just been, you're staying in until you have 2 bad starts, then maybe one guy ends up with 50 games because they went on that heater at the second half of the season. So, anyway, 803-0550 is our number. I have a Twitter poll up about Alex Tuch. Shocker, right? Mm-hmm. But I wanted to put it into numbers here because I'm finding myself making the case for signing Tuch more than I am committed to it because I think that the case against it is being made too vociferously, if I could say it that way. Mm-hmm. Everybody's so afraid of this and that, and like it reminds me of when we were talking about Tuch and trading him at the deadline. When Jarmo got the job, before they were, division champs, there was a strong contingent of, if you're in 8th place, you still trade Alex Tuch for whatever you can get. You can't let him walk in free agency and not get anything in return. And I thought that is ridiculous. If you are a competitive team, you would keep him because you're trying to make the playoffs, right? I don't need a prospect and a pick from the 9 hole. If I'm in the 9th spot in the Eastern Conference, I'm trying to make it. If they get in the mix, they should keep him. And that was a little bit of a debate, and it felt like to me the people that wanted him traded no matter what, again, in that moment, were losing sight of the goal is still to win the games, you know? As someone that has been on the side of the goal is losing games, it's not lost on me, the irony. But that conversation about should they trade him was that's ridiculous. Of course they should keep him. And now I think the conversation has shifted away from what helps them win games, and instead it's about some, sorry to make it sound like this, some fantasy contract pool. Like, what's the best contract? That doesn't matter what the best contract is. It's got to be a contract that he'd take, that he'd get on the open market, and he's going to be on a team making good money. Like, you could tell me I'd really rather sign him for this. Congratulations, you can't. So we got to get down to actually numbers. And I thought of 2 deals, you could decide which one's better for the team. 4 years, 46. That's 11.5. 7 years, 63. Let's really put it to the test. If you really say, I'll give him 4 years, well, then there's 4. To pay more for 4 years because you're guaranteeing less. Maybe he could, after 4 years, sign another contract, make up the money he's not making in the second deal. But 4 years, 45. 4 years, 46. It's an 11.5 AAV. Or 7 for 63. Easy math, that's 9. What contract would be better for the Sabres in extending Alex Tuch? And you can vote on that at my Twitter page and make a comment underneath.
I think that the 4-year deal is going to win your poll.
For sure. I think it's going to win too.
But I think I would prefer the 7-year deal at $63 million. The problem, Yarmo said it in an interview, like the problem is the short-term cap. And what helps me more, $9 million AAV or $11.5 million AAV? The other way, I don't know if this is the right way to look at it, but I'm looking at the 2 contracts side by side, and I'm thinking, well, what's the difference here? The difference is 3 years and $17 million total. The difference is like a third liner. That's the extra amount of money that I'd be paying on those 3 years. Like, to me, that $9 million in the mid-30s of Alex Tuch is not so scary that I want to sign up for $11.5 million AAV over the next 4 years. I think that'll actually make it harder for you to keep guys that I think people are afraid of losing. You want to pay all of Helenius and Ostlund and Benson and all these guys? Like, what's a greater threat to signing those guys?
The cap in 3 years.
Yeah, so I think when he's on an $11.5 million contract, it's going to make that harder. No matter how much term is left on it, right? Like, Greenway and Zucker don't really make it that hard to pay Alex Tuch long term. They make it hard to pay Alex Tuch right now for the amount of money that they're making. So, yeah, for that, like, this goes back to yesterday's conversation a lot. Like, I'm not afraid, I know you're not, like, of what the consequences would be of me signing him to the 7-year deal versus the 4-year deal. And the long-term cap consequences of that. It's just not something that is all that scary to me. So, I think I'd go with the 7-year deal. It is closer than I thought it was. It's early, 42%.
Maybe I should have made it
7-year.
8 for 72 because the Sabres can offer 8 where other teams can't. But, you know, if I'm the Sabres, I don't maybe have to offer the 8th year. I have no idea what the number comes in at. But
I have no idea.
We've got reporting out there
that'll say $9 million is like what the number is, and then I've got others that are like, well, I've got teams out there that'll offer north of 11. Like, really? What is the number? Where is he going to land in? Is it a $2.5 million range per year that Tuch is going to fall into? Like, I feel like there's a really wide gap between what the smallest number we've heard for him could be and what the biggest number for him could be.
Right. 803-0550 if you want to chime in on this. We're about, 3 weeks away from this decision, or I guess it could come down really at any moment. But 4 years, 11.5 per, or 7 years for 9 per. I, since saying it out loud, have been NFL salary cap pilled.
Yeah.
we are so ready to accept dead cap on football players that aren't on the team, but unwilling to accept dead cap on hockey players that actually still are on the team. Just imagine, again, you don't I'm making the case for Tuck a little bit more than I even want to, but it's year 6, and he's making 9.
Yeah.
And he's like a $4 million player. Like, okay, that's a $5 million dead hit. Why does it exist? Because I paid him 9 5 years ago.
Right.
When he's probably worth 11.5. Like, the whole idea is, in football, I've got dead cap all over my competitive roster, and it is so normal. And in hockey, all right, yeah, so he's underplaying the value of a contract. That's why I'm paying him a little bit less now.
Right.
Because I'm guaranteeing him money later. You're never signing a player that's 30 and thinking it's going to be good in 8 years, but you do it because it's going to be good for 5 years or 4 years. And maybe you don't agree with that. I had somebody yesterday writing into me like, I think Tuck in 2 years you're going to regret that deal. Maybe. Maybe the Sabres and Jarmo Kekalainen have an age curve that drops off pretty sharply, and all their talk about wanting to bring him back is lip service.
I did think of another way. I thought of another way of looking at this yesterday that was because wouldn't you say most would prefer the big trade to signing Alex Tuck?
Yes.
Right now. And I know there is more to it. I know there's, more the cliff is part of it. But it feels like everyone is, go trade Noah Ostlund so that I don't have to pay to get some stud top line guys, so I have to pay Alex Tuck $11 million a year because in 4 years that will cost me Noah Ostlund.
Right.
Right? Like,
Right.
I'm going to trade the great young player now to avoid paying Tuck that will make it harder for me to pay the great young player. You could just keep all your great young players and pay Alex Tuck. I do recognize the difference would be like some of these names that you have out there are 5 years younger than Alex Tuck.
Yeah.
And it is not wouldn't just be about this year for that. Because Tuck might have 2 to 4 to 5 great years left. Whereas if you trade for Nico Hischier today, you're expecting to have like 7 years. But this fear of not being able to pay everybody, let me trade one of them away to get a cheaper contract. What, am I trading Noah Ostlund to get a contract that's $3 million cheaper? Is that worth it? I don't know. I just think it's overstated a lot. All of it.
803-0550, 1-888-550-2550. We also have Belknap Heating's Hot and Cold today. Joe Kelly asks you to send a few topics our way, and then we say either they're hot or cold, or, we make it work. Hot conversations, hot topics.
I have something
cold
that
takes.
might qualify as a Let's Get Stupid.
I'm eager for a Let's Get Stupid.
It might need a decision on whether it is stupid. It might not be stupid.
Is this stupid? A new segment.
Yes.
All right. 803-0550. Jeremy and Joe, Owen Parker, Joe Kelly here as well on this Wednesday on WGR.
And they might go back to Freddie Anderson in the next game. Brindamore talked to did he even reference the Sabres series in the Eastern Conference Finals, or somebody did, that Brindamore said that Anderson just needed a break, and that either he or somebody else referenced the Cam Ward Gerber thing in 06. Like, Ward went out, came back in, and they won. And that he might be thinking, like, that worked then, I'll do that now. Bussy got a game, went well. Anderson just needed a day off, and I'm gonna put him back in. So he might switch back to his goaltender, which would kind of be crazy after the other guy won a Stanley Cup final game.
The Sabres goalie rotation has made it to the final?
It has.
Here we are.
It's made it to Carolina. Yeah. Although I don't think Lindy ever would have made a switch after a win.
That's a great question.
He could have. You could have gone into the playoffs saying, I'm going to rotate no matter what.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
win, loss, doesn't matter.
Didn't the rotation disappear? And what really happened was just like, I'm going to decide how I feel because we don't have a number one?
Correct.
Like, really.
It became make it, take it.
Right. In the regular season, it was a rotation. In the playoffs, it wasn't.
Right.
That's it. Like,
it wasn't a real rotation.
It was not a true rotation. It was play, and if I don't feel like you're playing well enough, I'll switch you to somebody else.
Right.
So, I don't know. would they have done that in the regular season? Had they done that in the regular season, it's worth asking, like, how many games would they have played? If it had just been you're staying in until you have 2 bad starts, then maybe one guy ends up with 50 games because they went on that heater at the second half of the season. I think the conversation has shifted away from what helps them win games, and instead it's about some, sorry to make it sound like this, some fantasy contract pool. Like, what's the best contract? That doesn't matter what the best contract is. It's got to be a contract that he'd take, that he'd get on the open market, and he's going to be on a team making good money. You could tell me, I'd really rather sign him for this. Congratulations, you can't. So we got to get down to actually numbers. And I thought of 2 deals, you could decide which one's better for the team. 4 years, 46. That's 11.5. 7 years, 63. Let's really put it to the test. If you really say, I'll give him 4 years, well, then there's 4. To pay more for 4 years because you're guaranteeing less. Maybe he could, after 4 years, sign another contract, make up the money he's not making in the second deal. But 4 years, 45. 4 years, 46. It's an 11.5 AAV. Or 7 for 63. Easy math, that's 9. What contract would be better for the Sabres in extending Alex Tuch? And you can vote on that at my Twitter page and make a comment underneath.
I think that the 4-year deal is going to win your poll.
For sure. I think it's going to win too.
But I think I would prefer the 7-year deal at $63 million. The problem, Yarmo said it in an interview, like the problem is the short-term cap. And what helps me more, $9 million AAV or $11.5 million AAV? The other way, I don't know if this is the right way to look at it, but I'm looking at the 2 contracts side by side, and I'm thinking, well, what's the difference here? The difference is 3 years and $17 million total. The difference is like a third liner. That's the extra amount of money that I'd be paying on those 3 years. Like, to me, that $9 million in the mid-30s of Alex Tuch is not so scary that I want to sign up for $11.5 million AAV over the next 4 years. I think that'll actually make it harder for you to keep guys that I think people are afraid of losing. You want to pay all of Helenius and Ostlund and Benson and all these guys? Like, what's a greater threat to signing those guys?
The cap in 3 years.
Yeah, so I think when he's on an $11.5 million contract, it's going to make that harder. No matter how much term is left on.
The Hurricanes tie the Stanley Cup Final Series at 2-2 after their 5-3 win over Vegas last night. Game 5 set for tomorrow night. Puck drop at 8 o'clock. All of the action will be right here on WGR with pregame starting at 7:30. The NBA Final rolls on tonight. The Knicks lead the Spurs 2-1 in that series. Tip-off set for 8:30. Mandatory minicamp underway for the Bills. Joe Brady, along with Josh Allen and a handful of others, spoke with the media yesterday. In case you missed any of it, you can find it on demand at WGR550.com. Looking around the NFL, Jacoby Brissett and Josh Sweat are both at Cardinals minicamp, but neither of them are practicing. Colts coach Shane Steichen said wide receiver Alec Pierce, dealing with an ankle injury, could end up returning a couple of weeks into training camp. Bengals, they've restructured Joe Burrow's contract. That frees up about $10 million in cap space for them in the coming season. And ESPN's Adam Schefter said he thinks it's more likely than not that Aaron Donald will unretire. In baseball, yesterday the Blue Jays fell to the Phillies 5-2. The Yankees, they beat the Guardians 3-2. The Red Sox, they fell to the Rays at 4-3. And then the Mets fell to the Cardinals 7-0. Join us in the fight against cancer by riding with the WGR Ride for Roswell team on Saturday, June 27th. When you sign up, you'll get a rider gift from WGR and Tom's Pro Bike on Walden Avenue in Lancaster. Plus, at the event, stop by our table and scan the QR code for a chance to win a $1,000 gift card to Tom's Pro Bike. Visit WGR550.com for all the details. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Headlines. Paddock Chevrolet, with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
By Ehlers. Oh, a terrible turnover. Jarvis is stopped by Hart. Oh, my goodness. Now out in front, Stahl. He scores while falling down. 4-3, Carolina.
Sean McDonough on the call. Jordan Stahl entering some pretty good company. 4 goals in 4 games of a Stanley Cup final. The list, it's Gretzky, Lemieux, Stahl.
5 goals, by the way.
He has 5.
Yeah, 5.
Those are guys that have scored in every game, 4 games into a cup final.
Yep.
Good list. If you're Jordan Stahl, that should go on the wall in your house somewhere.
It's probably the best list he's on.
just put up a picture of all 3 with that, like the ESPN graphic. Print that out wall size.
Yes. Next
and just
to
put it up.
Gretzky and
Gretzky, Lemieux, Stahl. So Carolina's up, or they win, and it's 2-2. I'm finding myself not as annoyed by Carolina as I thought I'd be. I thought I'd be very firmly Vegas here, and actually I'm fine. I just don't care. Whoever wins, wins.
Yeah.
It really doesn't hit how horrible it is until one of them is actually raising the cup. Then maybe it gets worse. So, I'm handling it.
I still have that. You know what is helping? It's almost helping that they're wearing those weird jerseys.
Yes.
Because
it's not exactly the same.
If they had been wearing, if they'd gone back to their throwbacks at some point and they were wearing, the same uniforms that they wore in 06, I think it might be a little bit harder. But they're wearing, it's like the 2-color, it's just black and red, right, is the whole logo? The ones they're wearing right now, the ones on the road at least. So they look different enough that it's not clicking every time they touch the puck. I hate those guys. They don't even look like the Hurricanes that I saw in 06, just with the laundry. So I still don't want them to win, but I don't want Vegas to win either. So I'm enjoying the quality of the hockey.
It is good hockey.
Yeah. That was the best thing that could have happened. I hate both teams, but wait, the quality of the hockey is great? Okay, great.
I saw reports of a Let's Go Canes chant at Vegas.
In Vegas?
In Vegas.
I never heard that on the broadcast.
Me either. Someone tweeted from the game and said their Let's Go Canes chants.
They sold out their watch party for the final. I was impressed. Good
Not
for
only
you.
did they sell that out, did you see what they did on the ice?
No.
So the game is on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
But on the ice, they had the game playing little figures and the puck moving. Like they do in
the dots?
Yes.
Like the next-gen stat dots?
Yes. They had little player circles skating. They'd all be skating. You'd see the puck move. A shot would go.
Yeah.
A shot would look a little bit like the Fox tracks, like it would shoot towards the net. So you could watch the ice if you really wanted to because all the player mapping was there to watch a hockey game.
Okay.
I wonder if you would actually watch that. I think you might a little bit. You know when I would look down for that? Is when you're in transition. Right? You're watching the game on the Jumbotron, but if 3-on-2 starts, I might look down at the ice and see, all right, where's the spacing, right? It's almost like you're playing a video game and you've got the little map in the bottom of the screen. You can see where the people are.
Right.
I think that's kind of cool. So credit Carolina selling out that watch party and having those players on the ice. Mm-hmm. Not bad.
It's one of those things that's cool, and I'm not sure if I would actually watch it once it's on. Because am I going to be looking at the game 99% of the time on the Jumbotron? Probably. But didn't they have trouble selling playoff tickets years in the past? Like them selling out a watch party. All right, they've grown a little in Carolina.
803-0550 and 1-888-550-2550.
I thought about something Vegas could do to become even more of a villain, by the way. They're one of the 3 teams in on Dylan Larkin, right?
Well,
sorry, not in on.
He's in on them.
He's in on them. Wouldn't it be something? Because what does everybody say? Well, the league likes to encourage that teams save these things until after the Stanley Cup final, right? What if Vegas said, this is our chance. Everybody's waiting for the series to finish. Let's go trade for Dylan Larkin while the Stanley Cup final is going on right now. Let's go do it right now.
Trade players that aren't even on the team.
And the rest of the league goes, wait a minute, we were waiting for you to finish, and you just went out and did it? I'm just saying, if I were Vegas...
Now, he can't play, of course, but he would just...
No, he couldn't. He wouldn't be able to play.
He'd be in the building for, like...
And you'd have to trade something that is not helping you in the final.
Is this the thing you said, is let's get stupid?
No, this is not it, actually.
Okay, because how about... Here's your idea. It's you trade for Dylan Larkin and then have him crank the siren.
Yes. There you go. Is it that bad an idea?
Well,
if you were Vegas, is it that bad of an idea? Like, get in early before the rest of the league feels like everyone's allowed to really get rolling here. Sneak in under the cloud of darkness that is the final, and then you take Dylan Larkin out from everybody else while you're playing.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, wouldn't they be the organization to do that also? They would absolutely. If one organization would do something like that, it would be that one.
Don't we think the biggest problem is that how do you trade for that player without any piece of your on-ice team being a part of it?
Because they're not necessarily loaded with picks and prospects.
It would be a unique challenge, and if they did do it, you'd say, how can no one else operate in this league, and this team doesn't even need...
Yes, no, 100%. Yeah, you can't take anybody, right? Anybody off your team.
803-0550 is the phone number, and 1-888-550-2550. You want to wait on your Let's Get Stupid? What do you feel like here? You said you're not sure if it's stupid?
Let me throw it your way, and you tell me if it is stupid?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about like how this would go in addition to like if it's a dumb idea. But all these road teams winning and like home and road in these playoffs, how about instead of going 2-2-1, well, whatever, 1-1, as the format, why don't we have teams before series in the NHL and the NBA draft which games they want at home?
Pierre LeBrun said that they're, as an idea, I think he said Ken Holland floated it, that you would do something like that. I think Ken Holland suggested if you're the higher seed, you should have the option of starting on the road. Not quite drafting the games in the order, all 7.
Because I'm saying draft every game.
Right. You get 4 of them. You get to draft a 2-game block.
Yeah. Yes.
And if you want that to be games 3-4 or what? You want?
Well, I was just going to go all. I mean, I guess I'm making travel no object.
Right.
And
we
you can just
do
pick
that.
any game you want.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Pierre LeBrun reported maybe a month ago, because we talked about this during the Sabres and Canadian series, that he said Ken Holland wanted the higher seed to be able to have 3, 4, 5, and 7. Those would be your home games.
3, 4, 5, and 7.
3, 4, 5, and 7.
Okay.
That way, I win 1 on the road, and I feel like I have a chokehold on this series. I can win all my home games, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
And, of course, game 7, you would want at home, maybe. And I mean,
I was going to say, like, would you care enough about it getting to a game 7 to pick game 7?
If you don't, you can't exactly go 3, 4, 5, 6.
No.
2, 3, 4, 5. Travel is, you want to have travel in there. But it has been something that has been floated by an NHL GM before, that the higher seed should get to pick if they want to open on the road or not.
Yeah.
803-0550. When we get back, I have a small trivia question for you. It's a Josh Allen inspired trivia, because I saw a little bit of Josh yesterday making some lists. Josh Palmer participating in OTAs. He'd been working with trainers. Deion Dawkins was there. I'm no offensive line coach. I thought he looked pretty good. Getting up and out and moving bodies, at minicamp. Anyway, Sal joins us at 9. Joe Marino at 7 o'clock. We'll talk about some of these Bills roster battles and positional battles as well. And the Josh Allen-based trivia coming up here on WGR. I felt like that happened with Eichel in his last year here. What do you have,
Yes,
like
he
2
had the
goals
injury.
and 20 assists?
He had 2 goals and 16 assists in 21 games.
Which is kind of what his playoffs are right now.
He has 2 goals and 18 assists in 19 games in this one.
Over the course of a player's career, I don't know if you lose a little something or you just settle into a role, because when he got here, he was, I don't know, I thought there was the potential to become an elite goal scorer.
Right.
The shot is so good, and the dangle, of course, is very good too, but he would absolutely roast goalies from angles that they thought were impossible.
Yeah.
And what's his career high in goals? Is it like 27?
36.
36.
That was here, but he's never topped. He's only topped 30 one other time.
Okay, 36 goals, and did he miss a couple games that year?
He missed 14 games.
Yeah.
So he had 1 year that was 2019-20. So that's the year actually COVID shuts the league down.
Right.
He was going to get to 40.
40 goals.
Yeah.
And now he does not look like a player that is even interested in scoring 40 goals.
No.
He looks
he's only got the 31 time in Vegas in 5 years.
It looks like he has, for better or for worse, like you can say that was a blip. He's a completely committed 200-foot player,
right,
and does not think about wanting to get to 40 anymore. Almost like he doesn't care about it. So, or he can't.
He might realize
or
that
he just can't do it.
He might realize I've got a good shot, but I'm better at other things at this point.
Yeah.
And they might go back to Freddie Anderson in the next game. Brind'Amour talked to did he even reference the Sabres series in the Eastern Conference Finals, or somebody did, that Brind'Amour said that Anderson just needed a break, and that either he or somebody else referenced the Cam Ward Gerber thing in 06. Like, Ward went out, came back in, and they won. And that he might be thinking, like, that worked then, I'll do that now. Bussy got a game, went well. Anderson just needed a day off, and I'm gonna put him back in. So he might switch back to his goaltender, which would kind of be crazy after the other guy won a Stanley Cup final game.
The Sabres goalie rotation has made it to the final.
It has.
Here we are.
It's made it to Carolina. Yeah. Although I don't think Lindy ever would have made a switch after a win.
That's a great question.
He could have. You could have gone into the playoffs saying, I'm going to rotate no matter what.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
loss, doesn't matter.
Didn't the rotation disappear? And what really happened was just like, I'm going to decide how I feel because we don't have a number one.
Correct.
Like, really.
It became make it, take it.
Right. In the regular season, it was a rotation. In the playoffs, it wasn't.
Right.
That's it. Like,
it wasn't a real
It was
rotation.
not a true rotation. It was
No.
play, and if I don't feel like you're playing well enough, I'll switch you to somebody else.
Right.
So, I don't know, would they have done that in the regular season? Had they done that in the regular season, it's worth asking, like, how many games would they have played? If it had just been, you're staying in until you have 2 bad starts, then maybe one guy ends up with 50 games because they went on that heater at the second half of the season.
Similar routine, spend a little bit more time on the body, working out, and just trying to continue to hone in on the mechanic side of things. I feel like I'm in a good spot right now and can still be better, so I'm going to continue to find ways that I can do that. But obviously, having a baby now, sticking around the house a little bit more and trying to balance, being a dad and going out there and getting my work done too. So it's still awesome, though.
Josh has asked what book he's reading to his daughter. He went with The Pout Pout Fish, which we don't have The Pout Pout Fish.
I don't know that yet.
Yeah.
The Pout Fish.
Right now, we got a bunch of books over the years for the twins, and then for the youngest now, our daughter, it's Brown Bear. Brown Bear, Brown Bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. You know, the classics.
All I have right now is Goodnight Moon.
Goodnight Moon.
It's the only one that's out.
Yeah, Goodnight Moon. Wait till
and then we have the cards with like the shapes on them.
Wait till you get to a book. Maybe you remember, like, as being young enough. I remember a book that I had read to me when I was a kid, maybe like 5 or 6, that I got and now read to my kids. It's Mike Mulligan and Steam Shovel or something like that. But I saw it in the store. I'm like, that was definitely me when I was 5. That book, and now I read to my kids. Also have to tell you about how I cleaned out the car and the things I found in there that have changed me as a person.
Wow.
Yeah. But before that, Josh Allen. We heard from Josh Allen. He finished the year, 2025-26, number 1 in player sales. NFLPA Top 50 Player Sales List.
Okay.
Officially licensed NFL player merchandise from March 2025 to February 2026, the league year. Jerseys, apparel, collectibles, a comprehensive snapshot of the players fans are most excited about. Allen, number 1. Would you like to try to get the rest of the top 10?
Sure. Patrick Mahomes.
Number 6.
Ooh. Just because I feel like he'd be on a list like this. Shadur Sanders.
No.
Okay. Drake May.
2. Number 2 is Drake May.
Caleb Williams.
Number 8.
Okay. How about Jordan Love?
Number 9.
Wow.
How about Joe Burrow?
No.
Justin
Did we say? Wait, did we
Jefferson.
say Lamar Jackson?
They're all wrong.
Wow.
Every name we just said.
Yep.
Sweet.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
4.
Puka.
No.
Myles Garrett.
No.
Stafford.
No.
Is there like a old play? No. Is there a?
Yeah, it's like Joe Flacco sneaking up there or something.
No, I didn't mean that.
Oh my God.
What team would that even be?
Yeah.
Top 10 players in NFL merchandise sales this year.
Is there a running back we're missing?
There is.
Saquon?
Yes, number 3.
Saquon.
Allen 1, May 2, Saquon 3, JSN 4. You have Mahomes 6, Caleb 8, Jordan Love 9. So you're missing 5, 7, and 10.
Okay.
He's in that top 5 that we are missing.
How about
Your hint?
Dak Prescott?
No, your hint on number 5 is that he might have been forgotten about this year, and this is the indication that he definitely wasn't.
Oh, did he get hurt?
Ooh.
Malik Neighbors.
No.
Who got forgotten about?
Slept on, forgotten about, had a bit of a lost year.
Lost year.
Ooh.
Let's see how many games he played.
A lost year.
Texts and tweets and chat guesses coming in. Max Crosby, not correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not the one you're thinking about, but George Pickens just popped into my head.
It is not correct.
It's not Brock Purdy, is it?
It is not.
Okay.
Brock Purdy.
He missed some games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
He's a good
hate that
quarterback.
guess.
This guy threw 8 touchdowns this year.
Oh, wow.
5th in
There's a guy with 8 touchdowns on this list?
That's right. He threw 8 touchdowns this year because he played in 7 games.
Did Baker miss time this year? No.
I need to look at a list of teams.
Maybe
Hold
this
on.
is a really great clue that he's been forgotten about.
Yes.
The 5th highest in player sales list, number 5, played in 8 games this year.
Did we say Burrow?
Oh,
You did.
wait. No, that's not right.
Would also accept another quarterback that is always criticized and a defensive player that was traded. Tyreek Hill is incorrect on other guesses coming in.
8
The
touchdowns.
player threw 8 touchdowns, has been forgotten about this year.
Jackson Dart?
No.
I've forgotten him. Oh yeah,
No,
he
I
got
know.
hurt.
Like,
yeah.
Jaden Daniels.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Lost season.
Wow,
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, 5th.
totally lost season.
Yeah, I forgot about that
Now
guy.
I feel really good about that clue.
I
That's
forgot
a
about
really
that
good
guy.
clue.
He's
And
good, right?
the pass rusher that moved,
Passer.
That isn't Myles Garrett. Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons, number 10.
Yep.
And then one more. He was in a lot of headlines because of a teammate.
He was in a lot of headlines because of a teammate,
Former teammate.
former teammate.
AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
There's your top 10.
I forgot about Jaden Daniels.
Forgot about Jaden
He
Daniels.
was in the NFC Championship game
Right.
16 months ago.
He threw 8 touchdowns last year.
In 7 games?
Anybody with him in fantasy is like, yeah, I know. Lost season. That guy was supposed to be one of the next comings, and maybe he gets back to it. 803-0550. When we return, Joe Marino, the Locked On Bills podcast. We'll talk a little bit about mandatory minicamp going on. We heard from Joe Brady yesterday, positional battles, 100% attendance, all that coming up here on WGR.
And they might go back to Freddie Anderson in the next game. Brindamore talked to did he even reference the Sabres series in the Eastern Conference Finals, or somebody did, that Brindamore said that Anderson just needed a break, and that either he or somebody else referenced the Cam Ward Gerber thing in 06. Like, Ward went out, came back in, and they won. And that he might be thinking, like, that worked then, I'll do that now. Bussy got a game, went well. Anderson just needed a day off, and I'm gonna put him back in. So he might switch back to his goaltender, which would kind of be crazy after the other guy won a Stanley Cup final game.
The Sabres goalie rotation has made it to the final.
It has.
There we are.
It's made it to Carolina. Yeah. Although I don't think Lindy ever would have made a switch after a win.
That's a great question.
He could have. You could have gone into the playoffs saying, I'm going to rotate no matter what.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
Win, loss, doesn't matter.
Didn't the rotation disappear? And what really happened was just like, I'm going to decide how I feel because we don't have a number one.
Correct.
Like, really.
It became make it, take it.
Right. In the regular season, it was a rotation. In the playoffs, it wasn't.
Right.
That's it. Like,
It wasn't a real
It was not a
rotation.
true rotation. It was play, and if I don't feel like you're playing well enough, I'll switch you to somebody else.
Right.
So, I don't know, would they have done that in the regular season? Had they done that in the regular season, it's worth asking, like, how many games would they have played? If it had just been, you're staying in until you have 2 bad starts, then maybe one guy ends up with 50 games because they went on that heater at the second half of the season. I think the conversation has shifted away from what helps them win games, and instead it's about some, sorry to make it sound like this, some fantasy contract pool. Like, what's the best contract? That doesn't matter what the best contract is. It's got to be a contract that he'd take, that he'd get on the open market, and he's going to be on a team making good money. You could tell me, I'd really rather sign him for this. Congratulations, you can't. So we got to get down to actually numbers. And I thought of 2 deals, you could decide which one's better for the team. 4 years, 46. That's 11.5. 7 years, 63. Let's really put it to the test. If you really say, I'll give him 4 years, well, then there's 4. To pay more for 4 years because you're guaranteeing less. Maybe he could, after 4 years, sign another contract, make up the money he's not making in the second deal. But 4 years, 45. Sorry, 4 years, 46. It's an 11.5 AAV. Or 7 for 63. Easy math, that's 9. What contract would be better for the Sabres in extending Alex Tuch? And you can vote on that at my Twitter page and make a comment underneath.
I think that the 4-year deal is going to win your poll.
For sure. I think it's going to win too.
But I think I would prefer the 7-year deal at $63 million. The problem, Yarmo said it in an interview, like, the problem is the short-term cap. And what helps me more, $9 million AAV or $11.5 million AAV? The other way, I don't know if this is the right way to look at it, but I'm looking at the 2 contracts side by side, and I'm thinking, well, what's the difference here? The difference is 3 years and $17 million total. The difference is like a third liner. That's the extra amount of money that I'd be paying on those 3 years. Like, to me, that $9 million in the mid-30s of Alex Tuck is not so scary that I want to sign up for $11.5 million AAV over the next 4 years. I think that'll actually make it harder for you to keep guys that I think people are afraid of losing. You want to pay all of Helenius and Ostlund and Benson and all these guys? Like, what's a greater threat to signing those guys?
The cap in 3 years.
Yeah, so I think when he's on an $11.5 million contract, it's going to make that harder. No matter how much term is left on.
The Carolina Hurricanes tie the Stanley Cup Final Series at 2-2 after their 5-3 win over Vegas last night. Game 5 set for tomorrow night. Puck drop at 8 o'clock. All of the action will be right here on WGR with pregame starting at 7:30. The NBA Final rolls on tonight. The Knicks, they lead the Spurs 2-1 in the series. Tip-off set for 8:30. Mandatory minicamp underway for the Bills. Joe Brady, along with Josh Allen and a handful of others, spoke with the media yesterday. In case you missed any of it, you can find it on demand at WGR550.com. Looking around the NFL, Colts coach Shane Steichen said wide receiver Alec Pierce, dealing with an ankle injury, could end up returning a couple of weeks into training camp. Jacoby Brissett and Josh Sweat are both at Cardinals minicamp, but neither of them are practicing. In the Bengals, they restructured Joe Burrow's contract. It frees up about $10 million in cap space for the coming season. And ESPN's Adam Schefter said he thinks it's more likely than not that Aaron Donald will unretire. Schefter stressed after that this is just a guess, but the ingredients are there to make it happen. And in baseball, yesterday the Blue Jays beat the Phillies 3-2. The Yankees beat the Guardians 3-2. The Red Sox, they fell to the Rays 4-3. And the Mets, they fell to the Cardinals 7-0. Make sure to catch Shope and Bulldog today in the 4 o'clock hour for Beef on Weck Wednesdays, brought to you by Connor's Restaurant, 3465 Seneca Street. It's your chance to win a $50 gift card to Connor's, where every Wednesday, score 4 Connor's Beef on Weck meals for just $55 or 1 for $15, because Connor's is better. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
I don't want to ever say that this time of the year isn't important. Yeah, I know they might be, quote unquote, like in pajamas right now, and it is real. Like, it's no different from a receiver and a DB, right? Like, pads come on, different players play differently, right? And so it's important to see the technique and the communication and them working it. I'm understanding that there's a point in the offseason, they're only allowed to be so physical. And so it is hard to make some of the judgments where as a receiver, you might be a little easier. You see them the ball thrown, they make the play, right? But I like the competition that we had up there. Like, we've had a lot of great conversations this past week. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for these guys, right? And it's up to them to go take it, right? Like, I want the competition. I hope we show up to camp with an edge of guys like wanting to go take these spots.
Bills head coach Joe Brady at mandatory minicamp, talking about this time of year, as you heard him do right there. Jeremy and Joe, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Weather today,
humid.
Spotty. Yesterday was humid. I went to pick up the kids from school. My wife said, bring an umbrella. And I thought, I would love to be rained on.
Yeah.
I would love this humidity to break and pour rain on me. Today, maybe some thunderstorms throughout the day. Spotty here and there. Same tomorrow. Same kind of like Friday, like, right? So we are in summer, humid, occasionally will rain season. We're gonna of the next 10 days on my app, I got a little rain emoji on like 8 of them.
Yeah.
So
we went to dinner last night, and on leaving, it was torrential downpour. Flood in the parking lot. Like, I'll run to the car and pull it up level of rain.
Matt Bove posted video of maybe hail at the Bills facility.
Okay, I was nearby there. I didn't remember.
Or really, really hard
Honestly,
rain.
It was raining so hard, it could have been hail, and I don't think I would have even known or realized it.
Yeah.
So I can believe that.
Yeah, we could hear lightning and thunder and didn't have any. Like, summer when a cell goes through and you're like down the street it rained and at your house it didn't. 803-0550 to join us. We'll get to Sal Capaccio 9 o'clock as mandatory minicamp underway for the Buffalo Bills. Talk a little bit about Alex Tuck this morning. I have a Twitter poll up on that, and we can get to much more. Brady says they've had a lot of discussions. Do you think they've ever had a discussion about bringing Diggs back? Because I still don't.
A discussion. Yes.
I think
it could have been a quick discussion, but
isn't the discussion, why is Dion saying, hey, Diggs, it's time?
Or could it be, hey, we're not doing that, right? No, we're not doing that. Does that qualify? As to this, like, just, somebody putting it out there in the air to make sure that there isn't some appetite to want to do that? Yeah, I would think it at least got to that. I mean, has the agent called them? Because then you're kind of forced, and you might have to have an internal discussion. But you've had a discussion with the agent. If the agent is called,
the agent is called. Wouldn't you guess that?
I don't know. I mean,
Joe Kelly sent us? He posted another highlight video, a montage of himself in a Bills uniform.
Only Bills highlights. Yeah,
only Bills highlights,
and it's 3 slides of Bills highlights. And he said ... back then.
I don't know. I would guess he has told his agent.
Is he not?
His agents would be trying to find him a team somewhere.
Yeah.
And Buffalo probably comes up with them in their internal discussions.
It's also possible
and then if it does, then you call Brandon Beane and you see if there's any temperature and if the answer is, or any interest, and if the answer is no, then all right, you called.
I wonder if the posting of just the Bills highlights, maybe it's a whatever. It's probably too far of a reach, but to show the league, like I used to be able to play. I don't know. He played well last year, but the fact that it's only Bills highlights is.
I mean, he really played well in each of the last 2 years. Just one of them got cut short due to injury.
ACL,
right? Like he was tracking towards a 1,000-yard season.
Yep.
Which would mean he would have a streak of like 10 years in a row of 1,000-yard seasons if he didn't get that injury. So he definitely can still play. I don't know, but he doesn't need to be posting highlights on Instagram to remind the Rams of what he did 5 months ago as a Patriot. Like, it could be a lot of things. It could be that he genuinely wants to come back here. It could be that he doesn't have a market right now, and he probably looks around at all his buddies and sees, well, what do all my guys do when they don't have a market left? What does Gabe Davis do? What does Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer do? What does Trey White do? What do all the guys that I went to battle with for all those years do when there's nobody out there that wants them? They go home. I want to go home. And he might be the one guy that's not allowed to go home. So that could be all it is. It's in the starting point of that is there is not a market for him right now. There are not teams out there that are lining up to say, I would want to sign up for that. Yeah. I think for a year, it's worth it. You want to tell me you don't want to do a 3-year relationship with the guy and that it can get too hot at times? Fine. But 1 year, have him come in, catch 60 passes as your number 2 or 3 receiver. I don't think that's an idea for the Bills because of slot receiver and other factors, but I think there will be a team that gets to that point with him and signs him. But maybe there isn't one right now. Does Tyreek Hill not have a market right now either?
It's a good question.
Does Deebo Samuel not have a market? Does Keenan Allen not have a market? Like there are high profile old receivers that are sitting out there without a team, and he's just one of a few of them.
Yeah, it's the time of year where the if you're too good to come on a minimum deal, then you don't have a spot. Like the Bills last year added Elijah Moore and guaranteed him like 2.5, I think. Like that's a guy that's
like we're up to 5,
trying to find a spot for his career. If you're Beckham in these last couple of years, or Diggs or Tyreek Hill, Tyreek Hill probably thinks I'm not going to play on the minimum. You're going to pay me $10 million. Someone will. And
right. If you go to Spot Track right now and look at like the free agent receivers and what their market value is, the top 3 guys this is just what SpotTrack says it is. Deebo Samuel, $15.7 million. Tyreek Hill, $15 million. Diggs, $13.8 million.
Right. So
nobody is signing those three to those contracts.
Probably not. And those guys are not just going to go to a training camp or even really, honestly, mini camps and OTAs for a deal that's going to pay them $5.
Right.
They're probably just going to wait. Yeah, I mean,
And then what? Someone gets hurt in camp and they go to a team on a 1-year deal for here's a bunch of incentives so we can put down the number $10 million for you on the tweet.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm kind of surprised that Brandon Cooks is not back here yet. He might be just far enough down the depth chart, and DJ Moore might have really pushed him out, but it went relatively well. And my guess is if there was an injury to one of their receivers, Cooks would be their first call. Because it worked.
I agree with that.
Granted, the last play of the season, yada, yada, a couple drops here and there, but it worked. It definitely worked. And on the Diggs thing, I dismissed it completely right away a million times. And then the Dawkins social media thing was, all right, fine. It feels like we could talk about it. It still doesn't feel like it's anything that could be possible. I'm waiting for an insider to flat out report about it. Like, could there be a reunion? Even someone like that, just asking the question to me would add the possibility that it could happen, even though I think it's still next to zero.
Do you know how many catches Brandon Cooks had for the Bills last year?
12.
Including playoffs?
Sure.
Including playoffs, it's 10.
Okay.
Regular season in 5 games, it was 5.
5. Should have been 7 or 8 because he had a couple drops.
He had, how many drops was it?
He had a drop in New England.
They would have that on here too.
He had one where he didn't get his feet down, I believe, right?
Yeah, he had 3 drops. He had 3 drops for the Bills and then 10 catches. I mean, it worked relative to what they had at that skill set, right? Like a guy coming in at the end and catching a pass a game. It was just we were so desperate for anything speedy. I mean, McCole Hardman for a moment was like, this guy could be something. He played 4 plays for the Bills. But we remember the bomb down the field. That was a drop too, wasn't it? Wasn't it in McCole Hardman's hands? I don't remember. There was Allen tried to hit him way down the field in one of those games. I don't remember. But Hardman, it was like, this guy could be our deep threat. And he played 4 plays, and that was it on offense. So their bar has been so low to clear on that type of skill set and that type of role that I think it feels like Cooks worked. But was Cooks any different than what Cooper was the year before? Was he any better than what Cooper was the year before? I can make an argument Cooper was here longer.
Cooks was definitely not better than Cooper. I mean, Cooper made tough catches, and Cooper made important catches.
Yep.
And then, Cooper, of course, just went away.
I mean, if you extend it out over a 17-game pace, playing with an injury, by the way, Cooper was on track for 45 catches on this team. So, and I don't think it was great. It wasn't the most efficient. No. It wouldn't have been the most efficient 45 catches. But he was a regular part of the offense for half a season. And Cooks played 7 games and it was 10 catches. It just was your bar was so low to clear.
Yeah.
And I guess your question would be though, would you expect him to clear his own bar if he were to come in right now? Did you see enough from him getting open? And did he have enough wheels that you would expect? If I got that guy in right now, he had an offseason, he had a training camp with Josh Allen, and then I put him on the field and he played a full season, how would it go? You might think, for how fast he looked, that he could have a season. I don't know what a season is, but someone that's contributing on your offense, I could get to that, even though it didn't go. It wasn't super productive once he was here last season. Could he do what he did in Dallas 2 years ago? 50 catches and 600 yards? Does he still have that in him? Wasn't that long ago. I feel like I saw a player at the end of last year that while he didn't do it because he kept dropping the ball, I feel like you get him in somewhere early, that might still be in there. A wide receiver 3 or 4.
Well, that's the thing. When they brought him in, they were desperate for something to work. And now it would be more of this guy still wants to play. He did like it here. Maybe a full season, off season of, chemistry and going to mini camp. I mean, you're Brandon Cooks. You're that long into the game. Maybe you think I'm just going to, I don't know, just to fish Like, whatever you want to do right now. I'm going to play golf. And then when July comes around, sure, I'll see if they want me to show up at camp. He's 32 years old. Mm-hmm. He'll be age 33 season. And, right, it did not exactly go great here, but they needed him to kind of go great because they were so ill-prepared otherwise, and now they're just better prepared. So he could be on speed dial. He could be – I'm trying to think of, like, all the guys.
He'd be one of two things for me. He would either be replacing Josh Palmer. Like, he would just be replacing Josh Palmer.
Yeah.
Or he would come in and block Keon Coleman and Skylar Bell. Which even that, I think you could make a case. Like, why do I care about that? I don't fourth-round rookie and a guy that hasn't given you any reason to trust him in the first 2 years. Go ahead. Block those guys. But he would block those guys. Right?
Possibly.
He would take snaps away. He would take rolls away. He'd take reps away. I mean, he would take a lot of opportunity, I think, because if you added him to the mix and didn't cut Josh Palmer, I mean, now I've got 4 veteran receivers that I all, to some extent, can trust going into next year above 2 young guys. Maybe that's why they haven't signed him. Maybe they want to see, we want to see what Keon did in the offseason and how serious he's taking it now, and we want to see what Skylar Bell has to offer more before we're making a decision on whether to bring you in or not. That could just be all it is.
803-0550 and 1-888-550-2550. Minicamps around the league.
No Dorian Williams still.
Nope.
And we're getting hold-ins in Arizona, which is not a team you have to care about. And then that's pretty much
the hold-in is what? Brissett and Josh Sweat?
Yeah. And then Ayuk is still fighting with the 49ers.
Meanwhile, Arizona's coach Mike LaFleur just said about Jeremiah Love, who they took 3rd overall, right?
Yeah.
That they're not going to spell him if he's going well. He talked about it like if you're a running back, if you're Steph Curry and making all of your threes, you're not coming out. You're going to keep going. That they're going to ride the hot hand. Mm-hmm. So if you're someone that in fantasy football wants to jump in on some Jeremiah Love, which of course he's like the first overall pick in rookie dynasty drafts. Mm-hmm. And in redraft, I think what running back is he in redraft leagues this year?
Top 10 for sure.
Okay, I never know redraft because I do so many most of my leagues are dynasty or guillotine.
Yeah, well we're not at redraft season yet.
Sure. But usually anyway,
July, September.
If you think he's going to get a workload, the coach basically said if it's going well, he's going to stick with him.
Right.
So if you value that kind of stuff,
he's going as the 13th running back right now, right ahead of Breece Hall.
All right.
And we have. Is it just 2? How many quarterback competitions are there in the league?
Cleveland, Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson.
Monken said probably won't name a starter after minicamp.
Okay.
I saw the probably in there. Oh, really? You imagine if you did name a starter after minicamp.
In Minnesota, from everything I read in Minnesota, you've never had a more pretend it's a competition ever. Like Kyler Murray's the quarterback.
Right.
And it's very much pretending that it's Murray versus McCarthy, and I don't know how long they'll wait to announce, but
there's 0% chance that McCarthy is starting.
No chance. McCarthy says he feels like it's the best he's ever playing, but the reps are out of his control. He feels very good every single rep, every year. He's feeling better and better, but he's not winning that job. Everybody watching minicamp in Minnesota, we'll get Matthew Collar on this sometime, maybe in the next week or two. Kyler Murray. And
yeah.
Kyler Murray is, boy, if he's it's only his second team. Like, he's been in Arizona. Now he's on a second team. Who's a better candidate for the Sam Darnold glow-up right now than Kyler Murray?
Ooh.
A guy that
he's going to be tough to top.
All right, a guy that we think, he's not that good, who goes on to maybe not win the Super Bowl.
How about what Baker did? Baker turned his career around. He didn't win the Super Bowl.
He did. Baker, as a rookie, was great.
Yeah.
And then it fell apart with a bad franchise, and then he kind of resurfaced. And now he's fighting with the Bucs too about money.
Right.
So, but who's the quarterback right now that we don't think is good, that has a chance to
have a glow up,
redefine themselves? Murray has got a great opportunity. Everyone thinks that coach is a quarterback whisperer. He's got really good weapons.
Yeah.
Probably a good defense. Like, Minnesota could, and maybe this is the trap. I'm sure I'll be the one to fall into it to say, like, I think Minnesota could be good, and then Murray just, disappoints. But
yeah, I mean,
he's got as good a case as anybody.
Other candidates you would even really have for it would be pretty few and far. But how many of those guys around the league are even onto a second team right now? Like, Daniel Jones has already done this, right? He already kind of answered this question. Mm-hmm. Give him the better coach, give him the better weapons. It looked great. So he already kind of did it. Malik Willis doesn't really count because he didn't really play, right, in Green Bay. Honestly, the only other guy you could ask yourself about this, because he did go to a place with a pretty respectable head coach and has decent enough weapons, you could, I would not be the person to say it, but you could say it about Tua, couldn't you?
Ooh. Like
Tua with Kevin Stefanski? I'm just trying to find anybody else that's even going to have the opportunity to do what Kyler Murray is going to have to do.
Right.
And Tua will probably have the chance to do it. And it's Stefanski, and it's Drake London, and it's Kyle Pitts. Like, I'm not sure it's a better environment than what he had 3 years ago.
I was just going to say, like, don't you think Tua has already gone to, you had everything in place for you?
Yes.
The idea that you're going to get, that it's going to be better than that.
It would be incredible to me if he ever did what he did 3 years ago when he led the league in passing.
Right. Yeah.
Correct. But isn't he kind of the only other, like, who else is a first-round quarterback that's on to another place and getting a chance to play? Like, it really, I don't know that there is another guy that really even fits the qualification. Unless, I mean, do you want to say it about Penix in Atlanta too? Like, better coach.
Yeah.
Could be the thing. Like, Stefanski gets credit as, like, maybe he's not the number one quarterback whisperer, but he comes from that tree, and he's had good seasons with Joe Flacco, right? Stole comeback player of the year from DeMar Hamlin. He's had other great years in Cleveland with Baker Mayfield. So, like, he's a good enough coach where I would want to believe he can get the most out of a guy. But I've got two lefty quarterbacks, by the way. I've got two guys that cannot stay healthy and cannot move. So if you had given me somebody else to go into Atlanta that had this level of profile, I would be ready to be like, okay, yeah, that's the spot. But those two names, I guess I would say Penix more than Tua, just because at least Penix has, like, arm strength. But that's is it like his fifth knee injury he's had? He's got the same injury problem that Tua has. I can't buy that either one of those guys are going to stay healthy long enough for that to work.
803-0550 if you want to chime in on anything. All right,
I got one more. One more.
Sorry, go ahead.
Not on a new team. This is why I didn't think of him. What about Cam Ward?
It's still too early to decide that he's bad. I mean, I think you've got plenty of people that think he's good.
But that could be glow up. Right, that would be it'd be second-year breakout. But just Dable getting there, they drafted Carnell Tate. Like, that should look better than it did last year.
What I'm getting at is, like, a guy that
everyone decided is bad.
Is not good enough and then ends up like Darnold. Darnold is, this guy's not good enough all the way to, actually, he can win a Super Bowl. He can throw 40 touchdowns. He can win a Super Bowl. Like, that's, for Penix or for Cam Ward, like, those guys are
really, the guy we let off with is the guy. Like, it is Kyler Murray, right? Like, if Kyler Murray goes out, especially with the off-field questions with him, the contract thing from a couple of years ago, video games, like, I don't feel like anyone really believes that dude takes it seriously enough to be one of the great quarterbacks in the league. And there would be physical limitations with him as well, but he gets a lot of that. And he got a lot of that when he was in Arizona. If he steps in and throws for 4,000 yards and wins 11 games in Minnesota, like, he could undo a lot of criticism that he gets. Like, I really would think he is, like, number one on this list by a lot. Like, I don't really think there's anybody that would even be that close to him. And wouldn't you expect that something like that is going to happen? Like, he's in a good enough spot. Like, he should do really well.
I think he should do okay, yeah. Anybody want to go see the big train today? The big boy?
I feel like we, as a show, like,
should we do it?
Almost have
should we go down and see the big train?
That we go see it.
Big train sounds cool.
Sounds cool.
Big train cool.
I was a big train guy as a kid.
It's the world's largest operating steam locomotive, and it's here.
Union Pacific's big boy?
Yeah. Big boy 4014.
1.2 million pound.
Whoa.
That's
train.
Crazy.
Yeah. Where is it exactly?
Walden.
Okay. Now,
free shuttles available to Walden Galleria. It's at, whatever. You go to the Galleria to get a shuttle, I guess.
that takes you to the train tracks.
I'm going to find out the details.
Yeah, get the nitty gritty. I'm in if I can do it in between.
This and your show with Andrew Peters?
Yes.
How'd it go with Peters?
Great.
How'd it go? Good?
We had a great time. Yeah, it was very fun.
Has he got the intel on Alex Tuck? What's the deal?
Well, he talked to a couple guys that were up in some organizations, and what he heard was there's not much progress. Like there's not a lot of wiggle room. The Sabres sound like they're sticking pretty firm to a number that I think is probably significantly below his market value. And so the difference is the 8th year that you can give could make that up. But as soon as free agency starts, like midnight July 1st, that's done. Mm-hmm. It's over. If he wants to test it, there's no more 8th year. And so that's going to be interesting. Because if he wants to stay and go like, all right, I'm gonna take whatever, $1 million off the AAV per year, but you're gonna give me the extra year, he's got to make that decision before he knows whether Seattle's gonna offer him $12 million.
Right. Yeah.
And that's a risk. So I think
if we are to believe that no one can ever get to him, what Seattle might pay him.
Right. Which is probably pretty unlikely.
There's tampering, there's this and that.
Yeah.
Like Darius, I'm thinking about how Darius Slay flat out said, I told the Bills, don't claim me.
Right.
And the Bills are like,
we're going to do
it anyway.
They did it anyway, and they said, you're not allowed to talk. And, Slay said, my agent told them.
Right.
Which you're probably not supposed to say. I don't know. Who knows if that's true.
Yeah.
The big boy train is at the Bison Rail Yard.
Okay.
You get there via free shuttles from the Galleria near the Primark store, 9 to 2 today to see the big boy.
So, and it's sitting there for how long? Because really what I'd like to, if you wanted to do it perfectly.
You want to see it moving?
I want to see it moving. Mm-hmm. Which I guess means you would have wanted to do this yesterday when it arrived, right?
It's going to leave.
Well, right. Fair. There are 2 opportunities.
Yeah.
There have to be.
Yeah. Pat Hammer tweeted a video.
So I might want to figure out when it's leaving.
Yeah, Pat Hammer tweeted a video of it coming in.
Okay.
The big boy.
And you wouldn't be able to see it full speed, of course, because that'd be tough.
Apparently, reading about it, it used to go, when it was in service, it would, in the 40s, go 60 to 70 miles per hour with a mile-long cargo train of World War II freight. Whoa. But now around here, it goes like 35.
Wow.
Okay.
It's only 35 miles per hour.
Got to think how fast that thing used to go with all that weight.
that is a lot of inertia.
It's unbelievable.
Man.
Lots of inertia.
There were a lot of people there as it arrived, so I'm not the first person to have this idea, obviously.
Like Owen said, big train's cool.
It is. I used to go, my dad used to take us when I was very young.
Huh.
He used to take us to the train, like just the rail yard, to just walk around and look at the trains.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It was like the best.
Trains are cool.
We had a train set in our attic before it was a music area. It was a giant room-sized train set that we had up there. Yeah.
Like mountains and everything?
Mountains, a little town.
Wow.
Carpet. Oh, yeah.
If you want to talk about, like, that's, just tap into your brain. Oh, train, cool. It's, where do they do the Polar Express around here? It's like, is it Medina?
Medina, yeah.
The Medina Rail. If you've not been to that model train place, mind-blowing.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
awesome.
So cool.
There's an ice cream shop that's in a caboose.
Yeah,
that's like, oh, that's cool. There's
Boy.
trains.
I saw a life like Thomas the Train when I was young there. My parents brought me there.
A lifelike one?
It's life size, yeah.
Oh, life size.
You actually got on it and it drove you around.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Same thing as the Polar Express thing.
I used to ride around the little train that they have at the zoo.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite.
It's
I
a
great
always wanted to be in the caboose.
It's a big hit.
So I'm watching the video of it leaving Blaisdell yesterday, and I guess this would make sense. Like, people are just, like, along the rail.
Yeah.
Which you can just kind of do, right? Like, you could just go anywhere along the rail and watch it go by.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it going left or right.
We also have train hats ready to go.
We do have train hats.
If we did want to do
And
this.
if you can't see this largest steam locomotive, we are also, once again, pretty soon, when's the world's largest rubber duck coming back?
Oh, Yeah, they said it's going to be here the 4th of July weekend or something like that.
It's coming back. Yeah, July 3rd.
It is?
Yeah, July 3rd through 5th, the 61-foot-tall Mama Duck and 10-foot-tall baby Timmy are returning to Canalside.
Timmy.
Go say what's up to Timmy.
There you go.
Do they squeak?
If you like smush them?
Tough to squeeze them.
Or would it be like a foghorn?
Oh, yeah.
A barge?
803-0550 to join us. Jeremy and Joe, Owen Parker, Joe Kelly here as well. Coming up 8 o'clock, our Belknap Heating Hot and Cold. We'll get to that. We've got Sal Capaccio coming up at 9 on Bill's minicamp as well here on WGR.
And they might go back to Freddie Anderson in the next game. Brindamore talked to did he even reference the Sabres series in the Eastern Conference Finals, or somebody did, that Brindamore said that Anderson just needed a break, and that either he or somebody else referenced the Cam Ward Gerber thing in 06. Like, Ward went out, came back in, and they won. And that he might be thinking, like, that worked then, I'll do that now. Bussy got a game, went well. Anderson just needed a day off, and I'm gonna put him back in. So he might switch back to his goaltender, which would kind of be crazy after the other guy won a Stanley Cup final game.
The Sabres goalie rotation has made it to the final?
It has.
Here we are.
It's made it to Carolina. Yeah. Although I don't think Lindy ever would have made a switch after a win.
That's a great question.
He could have. You could have gone into the playoffs saying, I'm going to rotate no matter what.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
win, loss, doesn't matter.
Didn't the rotation disappear? And what really happened was just like, I'm going to decide how I feel because we don't have a number one?
Correct.
Like, really.
It became make it, take it.
Right. In the regular season, it was a rotation. In the playoffs, it wasn't.
Right.
That's it. Like,
it wasn't a real rotation.
It was not a true rotation. It was play, and if I don't feel like you're playing well enough, I'll switch you to somebody else.
Right.
So, I don't know, would they have done that in the regular season? Had they done that in the regular season, it's worth asking, like, how many games would they have played? If it had just been, you're staying in until you have 2 bad starts, then maybe one guy ends up with 50 games because they went on that heater at the second half of the season. Brady says they've had a lot of discussions. Do you think they've ever had a discussion about bringing Diggs back? Because I still don't.
A discussion. Yes.
I think
it could have been a quick discussion, but
isn't the discussion, why is Dion saying, hey, Diggs, it's time?
Or could it be, hey, we're not doing that, right? No, we're not doing that. Does that qualify? As to this, like, just, somebody putting it out there in the air to make sure that there isn't some appetite to want to do that. Yeah, I would think it at least got to that. I mean, has the agent called them? Because then you're kind of forced, and you might have to have an internal discussion. But you've had a discussion with the agent if the agent is called.
The agent is called. Wouldn't you guess that?
I don't know. I mean,
Joe Kelly sent us. He posted another highlight video, a montage of himself in a Bills uniform.
Only Bills highlights. Yeah.
Only Bills highlights,
and it's 3 slides of Bills highlights, and he said ... back then.
I don't know. I would guess he has told his agent.
Is he not?
His agents would be trying to find him a team somewhere.
Yeah.
And Buffalo probably comes up with them in their internal discussions.
It's also possible
and then if it does, then you call Brandon Beane and you see if there's any temperature and if the answer is, or any interest, and if the answer is no, then all right, you called.
I wonder if the posting of just the Bills highlights, maybe it's a whatever. It's probably too far of a reach, but to show the league, like I used to be able to play. I don't know. He played well last year, but the fact that it's only Bills highlights is...
I mean, he really played well in each of the last 2 years. Just one of them got cut short due to injury.
ACL,
right?
right.
Like, he was tracking towards a 1,000-yard season, which would mean he would have a streak of like 10 years in a row of 1,000-yard seasons if he didn't get that injury. So he definitely can still play. I don't know, but he doesn't need to be posting highlights on Instagram to remind the Rams of what he did 5 months ago as a Patriot. Like, it could be a lot of things. It could be that he genuinely wants to come back here. It could be that he doesn't have a market right now, and he probably looks around at all his buddies and sees, well, what do all my guys do when they don't have a market left? What does Gabe Davis do? What does Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer do? What does Trey White do? What do all the guys that I went to battle with for all those years do when there's nobody out there that wants them? They go home. I want to go home. And he might be the one guy that's not allowed to go home.
Canes tie the Stanley Cup Final Series 2-2 after their 5-3 win over Vegas last night. Game 5 set for tomorrow night. Puck drop at 8 o'clock. All of the action will be right here on WGR with pregame starting at 7:30. The NBA Final rolls on tonight. The Knicks, they lead the Spurs 2-1 in the series. Tip-off set for 8:30. In mandatory minicamp underway for the Bills, Joe Brady, along with Josh Allen and a handful of others, spoke with the media yesterday. In case you missed any of it, you can find it on demand at WGR550.com. Looking around the NFL, Colts coach Shane Steichen said wide receiver Alec Pierce, who's been dealing with an ankle injury, could end up returning a couple of weeks into training camp. Jacoby Brissett and Josh Sweat, they're both at Cardinals minicamp, but neither of them are practicing. In the Bengals, they restructured Joe Burrow's contract. It frees up about $10 million in cap space for the upcoming season. And in baseball, yesterday, the Blue Jays, they beat the Phillies 3-2. The Yankees, they beat the Guardians 3-2. And the Red Sox, they fell to the Rays 4-3. And the Mets, they fell to the Cardinals 7-0. That's your Paddock Chevrolet sports headlines. Paddock Chevrolet, with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
Diggs knows that his career is closer to the end than the beginning. He knows he's going to have to show up and be a model citizen. He knows, and he wants to win. And I think the key is the bigger the contender that he lands with, the more likely he is to completely and fully buy in. So if I'm a contender and I need some veteran leadership and a guy who's going to come out there and be productive and he's going to make the tough catches and he's going to maybe in crunch time be someone I can rely on, yes.
Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk. He's tweeting videos of himself with the Bills. Back when, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the caption, back when?
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, we'll see if he catches on anywhere. Jeremy and Joe, good morning. Happy Wednesday, June 10th. Thunderstorms here and there, but muggy as the norm for the next couple of days.
I think I need a name for this day every year because it is
June
the
10th?
day between my anniversary and my birthday.
So yesterday was the anniversary?
Yes.
And tomorrow's the birthday?
Yes.
How many years? 3?
3 years.
3 years. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
And happy birthday.
Thank you. I could get both on. I could get both on today.
Yeah.
You could get the anniversary wish and the birthday wish out of the way today, and they both work.
I just did.
Yeah, you did.
They feel great about it.
Today is, I don't know. Today's congratulations day because maybe I'll get both a lot today.
Tomorrow you turn 31?
31.
31. All right. So you're already into your 30s. Into your 30s.
I mean, I'm into my 30s already. Aren't I?
Yes. Yeah. Now you're into your, into the decade, not just like on the number.
31 doesn't feel like much of a birthday.
None of them feel like anything after the
After 30?
Yeah.
50's probably something.
Probably, yeah, like the 10s.
I've been to some fun 50th birthday parties.
When you're younger,
extravaganzas.
when you're younger, 16, 18, 21, they matter. Maybe 25,
I always
30.
wanted to be, I remember my
then,
7th birthday was awesome. I always wanted to be 7.
Yeah, now it's like once every 10 years they count. Or if you get old enough, maybe they're all good.
The only thing about 25 is you can then rent a car.
Or run for the House of Representatives.
That very true.
Yeah, but rent it 25 and past that, like, I don't know. What?
Yeah.
What's the age to be president? Isn't that coming up?
35.
No, I'm not there yet. Okay.
Yeah.
No, you're not qualified.
I don't know if I've ever cared about my birthday. Other than 21.
Ever.
I don't have party. I don't do anything. Ever.
What about as a kid?
Not really.
You didn't have all the buddies over, play pin the
January
tail and the
4th.
donkey or nothing?
Oh, January 4th. You're too close to Christmas.
It's right after Christmas.
New
and
Year's
New Year's.
Eve. Yeah.
It's like everybody's partied out.
Nobody wants to have any celebration.
Right.
We're done.
Your birthday's buried.
I'm in recovery week.
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
Thursday on
This
recovery week.
makes sense. Like your parents, like, should we throw them a party? Like, we just went to 10 parties in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
We can't have another party.
Whatever.
I have the same thing. I'm July 1st, and then the 4th of July takes away a lot of.
See, but that could be good because
That's different.
that's
It's
running
summer.
up to July 4th.
Yeah,
Like you're
right.
warming
Four
up.
is
We
good.
combine a
ready.
lot.
You're a pregame party. He's the Monday night game between Tennessee and Jacksonville after I just watched football for 50 hours straight.
All right.
I am ultimate hair of the dog party guy.
New working theory, because January 4th for you,
Yeah.
that's right on the edge of, like, would you have been in elementary school? Would they have celebrated you on your birthday, or are you off a lot because of the 2-week vacations?
Ooh.
Because,
Good question.
like, origin story, I have a birthday that's too late. I never got cupcakes when I was in school. You probably did.
Barely. By a certain point, it was exam week.
Okay, fair.
But no, like in elementary school,
Yeah, it's
I
like,
might
happy
have
birthday,
just
Joe.
made it.
Yeah.
Like it could have been the last day of school.
Us summer birthdays, there's like a party at the end of the year, like, congratulations, all these people. You had birthdays too.
Right. I think we were off a lot. The only school memory I have of my birthday was when I must have been in first grade.
Oh, wow.
At Olmsted when I went there. And one of my friends got me a very nice gift. I love Transformers. Remember the Scorpion Transformer from Transformers? He got me like a toy of that.
Okay.
And I put it in my bag and somebody stole it
Oh, wow.
from my bag at
We're
school.
all just dealing with our birthday trauma.
I was so mad. Maybe that's why I don't care about my birthday anymore.
The Scorpion
The
Transformer.
Scorpion Transformer getting stole my thunder for my birthday for the rest of my life.
8030550. Stole your birthday for the rest of your life.
It's over.
Trauma. 31.
Yep.
All right. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Tomorrow's your birthday.
Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow is a Thursday. Close enough to the weekend. I'll take it.
Yeah, not bad.
You're kind of to Owen's point. I'm kind of even beyond like, oh, my birthday's on a Wednesday this year. Oh no, we'll just celebrate on Saturday. Who cares?
Sure.
It's the 14th.
You're not in the birthday week. It's my birthday week.
No, I know some birthday week people,
yeah.
but I am not one of them.
Cannot be there. Cannot be there.
Live with that.
We
My wife-
all know some birthday week people.
My wife went to 2 birthday week events, I believe, that were one was maybe on a Sunday and the next was on the next Saturday. So I believe there were 2 events celebrating a birthday.
For the same human.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been there.
Man.
Sorry, people got to like the human to be willing to do that. So.
Yeah, you got to be very, very popular.
But I am not a birthday week person. No.
No.
8030550 and 1-888-552-550. There's a small update on Dylan Larkin that you saw from, was it from Friedman?
So Elliot Friedman talking about Dylan Larkin. This is either this morning or last night. It was maybe earlier in the week even. He said on Larkin's trade request, I think he just said if I can go to a deeper team, I have more of a chance to be impactful and more of a chance to win. Which I thought 2 things immediately. One, who's deeper than the Buffalo Sabres? Because the thing that made them good, I think, was more how deep they were, more than like how much better their best players were than other teams' best players. And then 2, I thought, well, he basically just said all my teammates stink. Didn't he? Didn't he kind of just say that? You know, if I had more good players on my team, yeah, I might have been willing to stay. But deeper team, like the guys at the bottom of our lineup, were not that good. So I'd like to go somewhere where that maybe they are. That's it on Larkin. There's also updates on the Mike Babcock Edmonton thing. I do not think that's going to end up happening.
I can't even believe they're considering it.
I know.
You want to hire.
It's got to be an owner.
You
thing.
want to hire a coach who is out of the game. And hang on, we can't hire him yet. The NHLPA has to run an investigation. The NHL has to run an investigation.
They want the league to investigate him.
Right, because he was violating his players' privacy. What was he doing, like picking up their phones and like asking to see their texts?
He did that in Toronto, I think, and then they're asking about investigating maybe similar things when he was in Columbus. He was only in Columbus for was it a month?
He didn't even coach. He got fired before the season, right?
He resigned.
He resigned because he was going to get fired because he was having players come to his house and saying, "I got to get to know you. Give me your phone unlocked."
Right.
That's weird.
Like, dude.
Right.
And then he would
super
I think
weird.
he took stuff off of it and like projected it in the coach's office and well, this is who you are.
Right.
I know who you are. You're out
Embarrassing
partying
players
or whatever. Like
embarrassing his own players.
Yeah, he's a psychopath.
Him coaching would be offensive to the league. And I have to imagine that was just the owner.
But
right? Well, the Oilers owner saying, "This guy's won a cup before. Mike Babcock really whipped these guys into shape." Like, I can't imagine you go through a real process and land on this dude with that background being your head coach.
There's only one way you do if it's not the owner, and if 97 says go get that guy.
That's exactly
it's the only other way you do it.
And there's no way you do this without them signing off on it.
Right. There's no way, unless McDavid says, I think you should get him because he'll do the right things.
Right.
Like the great player, McDavid, whatever. I don't want to necessarily put it on him because who knows? It's such a ridiculous idea that you'd have to think he would be on board with it or maybe even driving it.
Right.
Which is nuts.
Yeah, I think you have to think that because they would be insane to do that and not be, at the very least, get Connor to say, like, yeah, that's cool, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Because you've got the best player on the planet, the most talented guy to ever playing for you, and you're trying to keep him. And you're going to hire Mike Babcock without his permission? That would be insane.
And LeBron says that the NHL basically is going to the Oilers now and saying, like, you want to do this? Like, they're basically offering them an opportunity, I think, to back out. Like, you don't have to do this. If you don't do it, everything goes away. And what LeBron's tweet sounded like is the league's telling them, like, if you hire him, this is going ahead. And we're going to be investigating, and it's going to be distraction, and, like, the Player Association's going to want to look into it, and there probably will be stuff there. So, I don't know. I think they're kind of telling the Oilers, I would guess they're telling the Oilers, kind of how LeBron wrote it, like, you probably should just bail on this. It's not worth the fight. It's not worth the headache to hire this guy. And, man, if that happens, this guy will never coach in the league again. Because he had to resign in Columbus before he ever coached a game at his own doing. And then if this stops him from getting a job, I don't know how he ever would get one in the future. Like, it would be a death sentence for his coaching career, which should already be over. Shouldn't even be. It shouldn't be alive in the first place. He should be done coaching in the league.
World Cup starts tomorrow.
I'm in a World Cup draft right now.
I want to get into a World Cup draft.
You want a World Cup draft?
Yeah. Somebody invite me to a World Cup draft.
I'll invite you. It's pretty easy, the one I'm in. Just 48 teams, the one thing that made it easy, 12 guys picking 4 countries each.
All right.
That's pretty easy, right? There are drop-offs, I'm noticing, though. There are big tier breaks in this.
I might want in on that. Something like that. Starts tomorrow. Mexico plays in the first game, 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Mexico plays against...
It's South Korea and Czechia.
South Africa, right?
And Mexico, South Africa. That's right.
South
That's
Africa.
Right. All right. We'll get a break in. We got Belknap Heating's Hot and Cold when we get back at the top of the hour as well. I also want to go through some... And somebody put together a list of like Sabres big free agent contracts as some sort of like boogeyman. Man, everybody's so afraid. So afraid of signing players. You don't have to sign talk. I'm not there, but the fear on some of these deals is just kind of nuts. Like, oh, remember Ville Leno? Like, what? What does that have to do with this? So much fear. You can tell the Sabres do not have a lot of experience in the last, 2 decades having good free agent signings. But there are some. And maybe Tuck will be one, if you count that as a free agent signing. Jeremy and Joe here on WGR. Brady says they've had a lot of discussions. Do you think they've ever had a discussion about bringing Diggs back? Because I still don't.
A discussion? Yes.
I think
It could have been a quick discussion, but
isn't the discussion, why is Dion saying, hey, Diggs, it's time?
Or could it be, hey, we're not doing that, right? No, we're not doing that. Does that qualify? As to this, like, just, somebody putting it out there in the air to make sure that there isn't some appetite to want to do that? Yeah, I would think it at least got to that. I mean, has the agent called them? Because then you're kind of forced, and you might have to have an internal discussion. But you've had a discussion with the agent if the agent is called.
The agent is called. Wouldn't you guess that?
I don't know. I mean,
Joe Kelly sent us. He posted another highlight video, a montage of himself in a Bills uniform.
Only Bills highlights. Yeah.
Only Bills highlights,
and it's 3 slides of Bills highlights, and he said ... back then.
I don't know. I would guess he has told his agent.
Is he not?
His agents would be trying to find him a team somewhere.
Yeah.
And Buffalo probably comes up with them in their internal discussions.
It's also possible
and then if it does, then you call Brandon Beane and you see if there's any temperature and if the answer is, or any interest, and if the answer is no, then all right, you called.
I wonder if the posting of just the Bills highlights, maybe it's a whatever. It's probably too far of a reach, but to show the league, like I used to be able to play. I don't know. He played well last year, but the fact that it's only Bills highlights is.
I mean, he really played well in each of the last 2 years. Just one of them got cut short due to injury.
ACL,
right?
right.
Like he was tracking towards 1,000-yard season.
Yep.
Which would mean he would have a streak of like 10 years in a row of 1,000-yard seasons if he didn't get that injury. So he definitely can still play. I don't know, but he doesn't need to be posting highlights on Instagram to remind the Rams of what he did 5 months ago,
right,
as a Patriot. Like, it could be a lot of things. It could be that he genuinely wants to come back here. It could be that he doesn't have a market right now, and he probably looks around at all his buddies and sees, well, what do all my guys do when they don't have a market left? What does Gabe Davis do? What does Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer do? What does Trey White do? What do all the guys that I went to battle with for all those years do when there's nobody out there that wants them? They go home. I want to go home. And he might be the one guy that's not allowed to go home.
I felt like that happened with Eichel in his last year here. What do you have,
Yes,
like
he
2
had the
goals
injury.
and 20 assists? And
He had 2 goals and 16 assists in 21 games.
which is kind of what his playoffs are right
He
now.
has 2 goals and 18 assists in 19 games in this one.
Over
Yeah.
the course of a player's career, I don't know if you lose a little something or you just settle into a role, because when he got here, he was, I don't know, I thought there was the potential to become an elite goal scorer.
Right.
The shot is so good, and the dangle, of course, is very good too, but he would absolutely roast goalies from angles that they thought were impossible.
Yeah.
And what's his career high in goals? Is it like 27?
36.
36.
That was here, but he's never topped. He's only topped 30 one other time.
Okay, 36 goals, and did he miss a couple games that year?
He missed 14 games.
Yeah.
So he had 1 year that was 2019-20. So that's the year actually COVID shuts the league down.
Right.
He was going to get to 40.
40 goals.
Yeah.
And now he does not look like a player that is even interested in scoring 40 goals.
No.
He looks
he's only got the 30 one time in Vegas in 5 years.
It looks like he has, for better or for worse, like you can say that was a blip. He's a completely committed 200-foot player,
right,
and does not think about wanting to get to 40 anymore, almost like he doesn't care about it. So, or he can't,
might realize
or
that
he just can't do it.
He might realize I've got a good shot, but I'm better at other things at this point.
Yeah. Someone did send me a picture of flatbed trucks at the stadium with a series of boxes. Mm-hmm. Now, they did not look big enough to be the giant Buffalo.
Maybe some stands, though, or something?
Or
the platform?
We know the Buffalo, they'll be assembled while there, so the boxes in that case would be smaller. You know, there's 3 Buffalo. How many boxes are there? There are 10 boxes, and they're piecing it together to the bigger general thing.
I owe you $10, by the way, on that.
You do, because they are going to be assembled. I said you didn't have to pay it.
No, I said I'm in. No matter how I got to that, I said I'm in.
Yeah. Well, I'll take the $10. But should be soon.
Emoji to use here.
Should be getting there soon. Bills training camp schedule. Still waiting.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Find out how many practices they have at St. John Fisher. I wonder if the number is going to be down this year. The calendar is kind of weird. And how late things start. Mm-hmm. Anyway, looking for that each and every day, that training camp schedule. Jeremy and Joe, 803-0550. On Sabres free agency history when we get back. And then also Belknap Heating's Hot and Cold. We'll get to that here on WGR. Sal at 9. I think the conversation has shifted away from what helps them win games, and instead it's about some, sorry to make it sound like this, some fantasy contract pool. Like, what's the best contract? That doesn't matter what the best contract is. It's got to be a contract that he'd take, that he'd get on the open market, and he's going to be on a team making good money. You could tell me, I'd really rather sign him for this. Congratulations, you can't. So we got to get down to actually numbers. And I thought of 2 deals, you could decide which one's better for the team. 4 years, 46. Mm-hmm. That's 11.5. 7 years, 63. Mm-hmm. Let's really put it to the test. If you really say, I'll give him 4 years, well, then there's 4. To pay more for 4 years because you're guaranteeing less. Maybe he could, after 4 years, sign another contract, make up the money he's not making in the second deal. But 4 years, 45. 4 years, 46. It's an 11.5 AAV. Mm-hmm. Or 7 for 63. Easy math, that's 9. What contract would be better for the Sabres in extending Alex Tuch? And you can vote on that at my Twitter page and make a comment underneath.
I think that the 4-year deal is going to win your poll.
For sure. I think it's going to win too.
But I think I would prefer the 7-year deal at $63 million. The problem, Yarmo said it in an interview, like the problem is the short-term cap. And what helps me more, $9 million AAV or $11.5 million AAV? The other way, I don't know if this is the right way to look at it, but I'm looking at the 2 contracts side by side, and I'm thinking, well, what's the difference here? The difference is 3 years and $17 million total. The difference is like a third liner. That's the extra amount of money that I'd be paying on those 3 years. Like, to me, that $9 million in the mid-30s of Alex Tuch is not so scary that I want to sign up for $11.5 million AAV over the next 4 years. I think that'll actually make it harder for you to keep guys that I think people are afraid of losing. You want to pay all of Helenius and Ostlund and Benson and all these guys? Like, what's a greater threat to signing those guys?
The cap in 3 years.
Yeah, so I think when he's on an $11.5 million contract, it's going to make that harder. No matter how much term is left on. And they might go back to Freddie Anderson in the next game. Brindamore talked to did he even reference the Sabres series in the Eastern Conference Finals, or somebody did, that Brindamore said that Anderson just needed a break, and that either he or somebody else referenced the Cam Ward Gerber thing in 06. Like, Ward went out, came back in, and they won. And that he might be thinking, like, that worked then, I'll do that now. Bussy got a game, went well. Anderson just needed a day off, and I'm gonna put him back in. So he might switch back to his goaltender, which would kind of be crazy after the other guy won a Stanley Cup final game.
The Sabres goalie rotation has made it to the final?
It has.
It's
made it to Carolina. Yeah. Although I don't think Lindy ever would have made a switch after a win.
That's a great question.
He could have. You could have gone into the playoffs saying, I'm going to rotate no matter what.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
win, loss, doesn't matter.
Didn't the rotation disappear? And what really happened was just like, I'm going to decide how I feel because we don't have a number one?
Correct.
Like, really.
It became make it, take it.
Right. In the regular season, it was a rotation. In the playoffs, it wasn't.
Right.
That's it. Like,
it wasn't a real
It was
rotation.
not a true rotation. It was play, and if I don't feel like you're playing well enough, I'll switch you to somebody else.
Right.
So, I don't know, would they have done that in the regular season? Had they done that in the regular season, it's worth asking, like, how many games would they have played? If it had just been, you're staying in until you have 2 bad starts, then maybe one guy ends up with 50 games because they went on that heater at the second half of the season.
The Carolina Hurricanes tie the Stanley Cup Final Series 2-2 after their 5-3 win over Vegas last night. Game 5 set for tomorrow night with puck drop at 8 o'clock. All of the action will be right here on WGR with pregame starting at 7:30. The NBA Final rolls on tonight. The Knicks lead the Spurs 2-1 in the series. Tip-off set for 8:30. Mandatory minicamp underway for the Bills. Joe Brady, along with Josh Allen and a handful of others, spoke with the media yesterday. In case you missed any of it, you can find it on demand at WGR550.com. Looking around the NFL, Colts coach Shane Steichen said wide receiver Alec Pierce, dealing with an ankle injury, could end up returning a couple of weeks into training camp. The Bengals, they restructured Joe Burrow's contract. That frees up about $10 million in cap space for the coming season. Jacoby Brissett and Josh Sweat, they're both at the Cardinals minicamp, but neither of them are practicing. In baseball, yesterday, the Blue Jays beat the Phillies 3-2. The Yankees, they beat the Guardians 3-2. The Red Sox, they fell to the Rays 4-3, and the Mets fell to the Cardinals 7-0. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
I mean, all I want is Taki to get back. That's the bottom line, and he's so big for us on and off the ice.
Rasmus Dahlin. All I want to do is get Tucky back. I had somebody yesterday back and forth on Twitter about like, yeah, the player's just going to say that. You know, it's always going to be the PC answer. That's not a PC answer. That's all in. Mm-hmm. You know, the PC answer is like, hey, we'd love to have him back. It's a business, blah, blah, blah. But all I want is to have him back is a much stronger way to say that. So, good morning. Jeremy and Joe here on WGR. Joe's birthday's tomorrow. Owen Parker's here. Joe Callie's here. Owen's on again today, 1 to 3. Andrew Peters and Owen Parker here on WGR.
Escape the humidity.
Yeah.
So Dave Pagnotta yesterday had a note on Tuck also that wasn't anything different than we've heard from others, which is if they were close on a deal, it would have been done by now. All the signs right now point to him going to free agency unless the Sabres completely change their mindset.
Okay.
Not really adding anything new.
No.
Still think they could.
Can we all agree?
Sorry. I don't think they completely changed their mindset. I think their offer could change.
Yeah.
Because I've thought all along, they're going to try to make trades, and maybe if they don't make one, then their offer on Tuck would change.
Yeah, Yarmo might have 5 ideas, and they start ticking off like, oh, Minnesota made that trade, and Montreal made that trade, and they made this trade.
Yep.
Well, all right, guess we're going to do something else.
If Montreal does something, you know, like when... Did Kansas City ever really do this? If the Chiefs did something, or maybe when New England does something, like it ups the appetite to see the Bills do something in free agency, make a big splash, whatever, trade. If Montreal goes out and makes a giant swing on something, they trade their first-round pick and a prospect, and they go get a great player. Is that going to up the ante or the urge for people to see them do something. I think thinking about those teams that they were competing with all year long, and if you see them go out and act aggressive and be that type of way, then I think a lot of Sabre fans that maybe are on the fence right now will be like, okay, I would like to see them go do something too.
Maybe.
Don't let Montreal be out here getting a lot better, and I'm just the team that's going to decide to run it back.
Maybe. I think there's a lot of faith the young guys of the Sabres are going to just keep growing and get better and better and give them a chance to win year over year. The one thing I would say
that could be Montreal too. Montreal was younger than the Sabres were.
Could we,
by average age at least,
whatever you want the Sabres to do, would we not all agree that they are currently in a spot that they have not been in 20 years?
Yes, definitely.
Where 05-06, even 05-06 to 06-07, if we go back to that team 20 years ago, they end the season, we feel like they rightfully should have won the Cup. Mm-hmm. And maybe part of that led to us thinking, I'm trying to go back 20 years. All right, everybody, try and remember the take you had in June of 05-06 after that season, what you wanted them to do. Mm-hmm. They let McKee walk. They signed Jarl Spacek. They let Dumont walk. And that's it?
No, that wasn't
Dumont,
it.
Was the what?
Briere. Briere was up for a contract, right? And they I guess this wasn't like whether a guy stays or goes, but didn't they decide to only sign him to a 1-year deal?
That I don't remember. I remember the talk was they were going to have to choose between Briere or Drury. And whatever.
They went to arbitration with Briere that summer.
Okay, there you go.
And the Sabres agreed to accept $5 million for Briere in a 1-year deal that was awarded in arbitration.
Okay, there you go.
They could have signed him long term.
They definitely could have signed him long term, and they did not.
But I know what you mean. Like that isn't a decision on whether to get better for the next year. That's a decision on what to do with Briere for the long term.
Right. The last couple times they made the playoffs, like they lose to Boston in the first round, they lose to Philly in the first round. I don't know what we're thinking about them winning the Stanley Cup or anything like that. And this year's team, they lose in the second round, Game 7, overtime. I just feel like whether it's the ages or the whatever it might be, they've not been in a spot where we're sitting here saying, all right, what are you going to do to try to win the Stanley Cup? Greer, thank you. Chris Ostrander wrote it. Greer walked in the summer of 06 and said he was concerned about the Sabres' commitment to winning.
Oh, he was right about that one.
Yes, he was. He was.
Where do you think he got that idea, by the way?
Right.
Him and Drury were close.
And whether it was Drury or the 1-year deal to Briere.
The Briere thing could have been it. They went to arbitration with him.
Right.
I'm reading the article from CBC from that summer about all of that decision. It is. I don't think I knew the inner workings or even I barely remembered that had happened. It's madness.
Yeah.
They fought him into August to get him on a 1-year contract.
Yeah.
I think Mike Greer had a point.
It's wild that happened. But anyway, we're in a spot that we haven't been. That's fans too. Fans have not been in this spot. What should they do? Should they just wait for things to percolate and keep going? Or should they make a big, bold move? And I think part of the appeal of the new GM is the idea that he is a guy that will do something. And all the Tuck conversations, I feel like they come down to either your whatever, there's probably 3 spots. You want Tuck back, yes. You could be swayed either way, or you don't want him back because Jarmo's going to do something else. He's going to do something big. And there's belief out there for that, and I tend to believe something like that will happen. But it's also very possible that he doesn't, that the deals just don't come along. Because one thing about the deadline, you're shopping for Robert Thomas or Colton Parayko. You're calling the Blues to buy at the deadline. How many teams are doing that? Buying at the deadline.
A lot.
Reasonably buying at the bit. Is it 10?
Right. It's
10.
Yeah, it's not what it is in the summer.
In the summer, how many is it?
Yeah, way more.
30.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you were at that market where it's the trade deadline market. There aren't as many buyers as there are in June.
Yep.
So maybe it does get tougher in the summer because while your price might not go up that much, you still have the same value for whatever that deal was for Robert Thomas or, insert every name here. And now this team that would never have thought about trading for him in March is thinking, well, all right, if you're taking calls, how about this one? We got an idea for you here. And the Blues like that player better. I know that none of these players are Myles Garrett, But what got the Myles Garrett deal done? It was that the Browns liked one player. Mm-hmm. They liked Jared Verse. The Bills probably called on Myles Garrett 10 times. Mm-hmm. They could never offer them what ultimately went in a deal for that player. And next thing you know, it's like, well, all right, that idea you've chased for 2-3 years goes away because one team finally offered the one piece that team wanted. Mm-hmm. So I look at the spot we're in and think it's not like other years. It's not like other times. I have a list of long-term free agent big money signings before Kevin Adams with Terry Pegula as the owner of the team, and someone clipped the list of these and said, like, look at this. It's a scary list. Mm-hmm. And I do not think it's a scary list. Christian Ehrhoff was a good signing.
Yeah.
Was totally fine.
Yep.
They bought him out because they were afraid of one really small loophole in cap recapture.
And they had a compliance buyout to use.
And they wanted to also be bad. And he was going to hurt
They were going to tank.
He was going to hurt their ability to be bad.
Yep.
Ville Leno. What? What does Ville Leno have to do with Alex Tuck? Ville Leno was a guy that they signed for 6 years to play a position that he didn't play.
Yes, he did.
It was immediately bad.
Yes.
Immediately a bad idea.
He had one season in the league where he scored 19 goals.
Yeah.
Versus Tuck, who's got 5 years of, like, this dude's a top-line player.
Yeah. So Ville Leno does not apply. Jeff Skinner. Oh, guys, careful. Remember Jeff Skinner. Jeff Skinner, the Sabres bought out, and they have a one-time big cap hit, now they're small cap hits. It might surprise a lot of people to find out that Jeff Skinner, 4 years after signing that deal, had a point a game for the Sabres. Mm-hmm. 4 years in. That wasn't 1 year and then they bought him out.
In the 3 years leading up to the buyout, he had 92 goals.
And in the midst of that was tanked by his own coach. Like,
right, which is why it doesn't look as
part
complete.
Of the value you lost was so the Sabres have kind of signed players and then they're either just bad signings or sabotage themselves. Kyle Oposo, Matt.
Molson is another one.
Molson is a bad one, right? Molson is a bad one. A Tim Murray signing for 5 years.
Yep.
And he's washed pretty quickly afterwards. So I don't know. There's definitely some cautionary tales, but maybe it's that it's been a long time since we've talked about a team that has a real chance to do something, and you don't want to mess it up. And we also don't have an extensive experience. The Ehlers signing, the Marner signing. Like in the Stanley Cup final, I got two teams that went out and signed the biggest fish in free agency last year. Mm-hmm. Granted, they might not have been 30 years old, but like I don't.
You know the other thing?
I just don't think. I kind of made this point yesterday, and Owen clipped it, and it went online, and people are debating it. I just feel like you can't really reasonably be afraid of free agency in general. Nikolai Ehlers is 30.
Right.
And how's it going in the Cup final? How's it going for Carolina? Maybe it's a necessary evil. Sure, you get into some silly season, but if you want to actually compete and try to win the Stanley Cup, the teams you are going against are also taking calculated risks. You can't just be walking around all day being like, I'm a little afraid of that. Well, I'm a little afraid of that. The job is to just accept that something might go wrong and go boldly, I suppose. It's just, all I'm really saying is it's been a while since all these factors have met for us, which is why I guess, there's a good, healthy debate on what they should do.
Yeah, I like your logic on this the last couple of days. This just popped into my head, though, about your point about all those contracts that they had when they had them. And I just am thinking about how much more would we have cared about those cap hits on those free agent deals if they were good then.
Right. All those players were supposed to save them and pull them out of fires and
right, or a team, how about that was spending to the cap?
That's right. That's what I mean. Is like how much more do those hurt as a team that is at the edge of winning, where we were concerned they could get to the cap floor.
Yeah.
At these times where these cap hits mattered and they were there, the Ehrhoff, the Molson, all that. The team was horrible, so it didn't hurt them really. Now they're good and they're trying to win. And if they're trying to win long term, then that's where I think the concern grows. Because now that cap hit, for the first time, we're talking about the Skinner buyout cap hit, And why? Because they're good, and you need the space.
Yeah.
And now, like, are you going to get into that spot now? Because we think this team is going to be good for a long time here.
That's where I check out. Like the graveyard of teams that don't do anything because they think, well, we're going to be good for a long time.
Right.
Congratulations. Were you great for 8 years and didn't win a Stanley Cup? Like, we're living this life with the Bills. They're great every single year. If I told you for the next 7 years they're going to be the same level of competitive, you'd be like, well, they better make a Super Bowl. They better win a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Like, the idea of we're going to be good for a while sounds great in year 1. In year 9, Josh Allen's 9th year in the league, in year 9, you get to maybe you should have done more by now.
Right.
Maybe there should have been a little further pushing in. The Bills have traded their first-round pick away one time for Diggs. It worked tremendously. Right. Should they have done it again? Looking back right now, like, should they have done it again? In the next 9 years, should they do it?
Yeah.
You don't make a trade just to make a trade, but
yeah,
I want to be a little bit careful. I want to be respectful of being good for a long time is good, and I like that. And the Bills' last 8-9 years has been tons of fun, no regrets for like a fan. But the better thing to do is to identify now the window is not opening. You just had one of your years. You just had this window. Now it's year 2. This isn't the start of it. You're in it.
Right.
You're in it right now.
And that's why I think that I am against just letting Tuck go and not doing anything. To me, it's Tuck. If you're losing him, you've got
something else
to
has to
fill
happen.
it. You have to. And that's where I think we agree on that point, where it's you have to do something, whether it's Tuck or whatever else the replacement is. Mm-hmm. I think that I agree with you that the people that are concerned about, well, we could just let him walk, we'll be fine without him, and then we'll just live with whatever happens. That's I'm with you. Like, I think that's foolish. I think you're burning time in, like you said, the window that is slammed open here.
I'm looking at Billy Lano's stats. You want to go down memory lane for that?
I really just want to see them also. The way, thinking of the Bills a little bit for this, all the middle-of-the-road contracts that the Bills have and how that can make it harder to accomplish bringing in a guy that is at the top. For the Sabres, like, all these teams are going to have to decide how they want to conduct themselves once the cap continues to go up here. Like, it's a new world, total new world. And how do you want to be? Do you want to load yourself up with a bunch of contracts that are in the middle? Or do you want to say, we're going to pay our top guys big money, and then the replacement level costs, guys, we're going to fill up the bottom of the lineup with that? The NFL, like, yes, the guys that are at the bottom of your roster as the cap goes up are going to cost more too, but what's the difference? Like, in the NFL, just for example, 20 years ago, what was a rookie making? $250,000. Right now, what are they making? $850,000. By percentage, it's a massive upgrade, right? But it's $600,000 difference on your salary cap. It's a rounding error, the difference over 20 years. What's the difference in quarterback salary in those 20 years? What's the difference in running wide receiver salary, in edge rusher salary? It's tens and tens of millions of dollars a year. So, like, this offseason is a bit of a test of that, because here's Tuck. Plays on your number one line. He's going to cost a ton of money. You want to pay him? Or do you feel the need to say, we really like Beck Malenstein and Peyton Krebs? Those are priorities. We want to sign guys like that. They're going to make, $6 million between the two of them? And start filling up our roster with your McLeods and your Greenways and your Zuckers and your Malensteins and your Krebs, all guys that are good players, but that are much more replaceable than Alex Tuck is. Because what the cost to replace Alex Tuck is going to be expensive, either a trade or a signing, when, this might sound like me saying, I don't want them to sign Krebs or Malenstein, but what's a better idea? Going out and spending whatever it's going to cost in a trade to replace the Tuck production in your top line, or say to Malenstein and Krebs, two guys that everybody likes, I'm not going to pay you two $6 million between you when I can roll out a fourth line this year of guys under contract of Tyson Kozak, Justin Danforth, and Sam Carrick. It's going to cost me less than $3 million between the three of them. Mm-hmm. What's a better idea?
I don't know.
The cheap, but the cheap fourth line, like, don't spend all this money on bottom six guys as the cap goes up. Spend it on a guy that right now costs you $10 million a year. What's it going to cost in 5 years to sign a 30-goal scorer? It's going to cost you 15.
Yeah.
So, I kind of don't want the Sabres to do what the Bills have done. I don't want them to load up with middle-tier contracts. Go high and
you
go
also,
low.
And the other thing you want is, like, all these names that are out there, you want them to actually land one, right? Like, land that guy.
And I guess I'm wondering if they will be able to do that.
And I don't know if they will. Like, right now, to me, like, again, I realize I sound like I'm making the case that they have to re-sign Tuck, and that I do not feel that way.
I would still prefer that they land in a trade, a 27-year-old version of him that costs $8 million. That's a better idea.
For sure. But, like, I feel like there's a little bit of a trap in saying, you know what I'd like instead of this good scenario is the perfect scenario.
Right.
Like, those are hard to find. Is that Jason Robertson?
Yeah.
Is that, Jordan Kyrou, Robert Thomas, Matthew Barzal? I only Yarmo knows in this conversation, like, what that would ultimately cost. Like, I feel like I get to the same spot. No, don't pay Tuck. Okay. I'd like this perfect scenario. Okay, they're going to trade Helenius to get it. Well, no, don't do that. But now I'm going to trade Oslin, and I've got to say goodbye to this player. Like, it's kind of delicate, and that's the overarching point to get back to here is, like, it's been a long time.
I know,
since we've been here, and the GM is probably a popular figure and has a really good rating, and yet has not really done much. He's extended Doan and made deadline trades.
And that's it.
That's it.
I think he got a lot of credit, and this is why when Kevin Adams was the GM, I thought that they treated it as almost an embarrassment when leaks would get out about them not being able to accomplish things. But then when they wouldn't say anything, it was, well, you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yarmo got credit for trying.
He did.
For trying to get the big deal done. I don't think that came out as a negative for him. I think part of why people are optimistic about this summer is we all know he tried to do it, and he didn't do it. But that only lasts so long. Like, right. I'm sick and tired of between both teams. Like, them always being in on these big ideas. For years, we're in on it. They called about Quinn Hughes. Great. Sweet. When the guys knew and you come really close to doing it, like, I'm into that. But at some point, Yarmo will become the same as maybe what Adams was. If you don't get that trade done, it's don't tell me about how hard you tried.
Yeah.
Like, you've been trying. And if that starts to become repetitive, then it'll go stale, and at some point it'll be, don't tell me about it. But we're not there yet because it's still the honeymoon phase, and I'm still willing to believe that his mentality is different, and they don't have a roadblock that, like the Bills had with Myles Garrett, where, okay, you don't have that player to offer them for that star player on the other side. Fine. The Sabres don't have that problem. They have other roadblocks. They do not have the roadblock of we don't have the assets to make a trade like that. They absolutely do.
Right. Yarmo stepped in and, like, to the point about when does your window begin, said, like, right now, do you want the last guy we drafted in the first round, 9th overall? We'll give you a 9th overall pick and next year's first right now.
Right.
It's go time. He said it's go time in March. And he'd had the job for what, 2 months?
Yep.
3 months? 803-0550 and 1-888-552-550. Canes and Vegas tied at 2 games apiece. Are you familiar with the Stanley Pup?
I'm not. I'm going to guess it is something similar to what the Puppy Bowl is, though.
Kind of. It's every team has a dog named after a player on their team. They're rescue dogs. It's a adoption drive to get these dogs adopted. 32 NHL players as dog pun names, one for each team. My question would be is if you adopted one of these dogs, would you have to keep the name?
Yes.
And I'll give you some of these names.
Probably.
And do you know anyone that has a dog with a long name like this? For instance, the Dallas Stars adoptable dog is Jason Slobbertson. Would you keep the name Jason Slobbertson? This is my dog, Jason Slobbertson.
But I would just be calling him Jason.
Okay. Is that weirder?
I could keep that.
Macklin Celowini.
That's a good one. I like it.
It's a good chirp to throw at the player himself, too.
Minnesota and New Jersey have named their dogs Jack Chews and Quinn Chews.
All right, I could.
Carolina's
I'll keep that.
Is Seth Arfus.
Arf.
Not a big fan.
Boston, Charlie Attaboy.
I like that.
Yep. See, like some of the first names, like I wouldn't keep Seth Arfus because I'm not going to call my dog Seth.
No? You draw the line?
I draw the line at Seth.
My dog's name is Fred. So
Fred, fine. Seth,
Not Seth?
Yeah.
not going to be a pet name.
Tampa's dog's name is Anthony Gorelli.
ooh, that's good.
And Vancouver, Zeev Boopum.
Oh,
Or
that's funny.
Zeev Boopum.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Did the Sabres have one?
Yes. Owen Bauer.
That's pretty good.
Bauer.
Bauer.
Yeah.
I might
right.
just call it Bauer, the dog.
Yeah.
You definitely go
Bo
last name.
for short.
Kale McCollar.
Oh, that's good.
These are less names, and they really
Yeah.
are more just. I mean, they are puns.
Well, yeah, right.
I might not want to keep any of them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you win this, if you adopt the dog, do you have to keep Artemi Panarin? Yes, this is my dog, Artemi. Artemi actually not bad.
Artemi's
That's actually
fine.
That's
not
fine.
bad.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
That's
one
better
works.
than a
Kinda
lot
like
of
that.
That's better than a lot of the ones we've heard.
There's a Gabe, there's a Max Dogie for
Max
Domi.
I mean, there are so many hockey names. How many Sabres are going to have?
Dog
how many
puns?
dogs in the area are going to be named after Sabres? Like, how many Sabres would there be where you could do that? Like, there will be dogs named
all right,
Benson.
Benny.
Benson is a good name.
Benny.
Benny.
There's going to be
Benny,
a lot
Benson.
of Bennies.
How about Donor?
If you're naming your dog after Zach
How about
Benson, does it have to be a
Tage?
small dog that's like
Yeah, it's gotta be-
feisty?
it's gotta be
You're
like a
not-
bulldog.
You're not naming a Great Dane Benson?
No.
No.
Okay.
That's Tage.
Yeah, Tage.
Tage.
Here, Tage.
This is my horse-sized dog named Tage.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, Belknap's Hot or Cool when we return. Sal Capaccio, 9 o'clock. Jeremy and Joe on WGR. I felt like that happened with Eichel in his last year here. What do you have,
Yes, he
like 2
had the
goals
injury.
and 20 assists, and
He had 2 goals and 16 assists in 21 games.
which is kind of what his playoffs are right
he
now.
has 2 goals and 18 assists in 19 games
Yeah,
in
and
this one.
Over
Yeah.
the course of a player's career, I don't know if you lose a little something or you just settle into a role, because when he got here, he was, I don't know, I thought there was the potential to become an elite goal scorer.
Right.
The shot is so good, and the dangle, of course, is very good too, but he would absolutely roast goalies from angles that they thought were impossible.
Yeah.
And what's his career high in goals? Is it like 27?
Hey, it's Sneaky Joe
36?
DiBiase here. That
34?
was here, but he's never topped. He's only topped 30 one other time.
Okay, 36 goals, and did he miss a couple games that year?
He missed 14 games.
Yeah.
So he had 1 year that was 2019-20. So that's the year actually COVID shuts the league down.
Right.
He was going to get to 40.
40 goals.
Yeah.
And now he does not look like a player that is even interested in scoring 40 goals.
No.
He looks
He's only got to 30 one time in Vegas in 5 years.
It looks like he has, for better or for worse, like you can say that was a blip. He's a completely committed 200-foot player,
Right.
and does not think about wanting to get to 40 anymore. Almost like he doesn't care about it. So, or he can't.
might realize
or
that-
he just can't do it.
You might realize I've got a good shot, but I'm better at other things at this point.
Yeah. Brady says they've had a lot of discussions. Do you think they've ever had a discussion about bringing Diggs back? Because I still don't.
A discussion. Yes.
I think
It could have been a quick discussion, but
Isn't the discussion, why is Dion saying, hey, Diggs, it's time?
or could it be, hey, we're not doing that, right? No, we're not doing that. Does that qualify? As to this, like, just, somebody putting it out there in the air to make sure that there isn't some appetite to want to do that. Yeah, I would think it at least got to that. I mean, has the agent called them? Because then you're kind of forced, and you might have to have an internal discussion. But you've had a discussion with the agent if the agent is called.
The agent is called. Wouldn't you guess that?
I don't know. I mean,
Joe Kelly sent us. He posted another highlight video, a montage of himself in a Bills uniform.
Only Bills highlights, yeah.
Only Bills highlights.
And it's 3 slides of Bills highlights. And he said, ... back then.
I don't know. I would guess he has told his agent.
Is he not?
His agents would be trying to find him a team somewhere.
Yeah.
And Buffalo probably comes up with them in their internal discussions.
It's also possible
and then
that
if it does, then you call Brandon Beane and you see if there's any temperature, and if the answer is, or any interest, and if the answer is no, then all right, you called.
I wonder if the posting of just the Bills highlights, maybe it's a whatever. It's probably too far of a reach, but to show the league, like I used to be able to play. I don't know. He played well last year, but the fact that it's only Bills highlights is.
I mean, he really played well in each of the last 2 years. Just one of them got cut short due to injury.
ACL, right?
Like he was tracking towards a 1,000-yard season, which would mean he would have a streak of like 10 years in a row of 1,000-yard seasons if he didn't get that injury. So he definitely can still play. I don't know, but he doesn't need to be posting highlights on Instagram to remind the Rams of what he did 5 months ago,
right?
As a Patriot, it could be a lot of things. It could be that he genuinely wants to come back here. It could be that he doesn't have a market right now, and he probably looks around at all his buddies and sees, well, what do all my guys do when they don't have a market left? What does Gabe Davis do? What does Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer do? What does Trey White do? What do all the guys that I went to battle with for all those years do when there's nobody out there that wants them? They go home. I want to go home. And he might be the one guy that's not allowed to go home.
The Carolina Hurricanes tie the Stanley Cup Final Series 2-2 after their 5-3 win over Vegas last night. Game 5 set for tomorrow night. Puck drop at 8 o'clock. All of the action will be right here on WGR with pregame starting at 7:30. The NBA Final rolls on tonight. The Knicks lead the Spurs 2-1 in the series. Tip-off set for 8:30. Mandatory minicamp underway for the Bills. Joe Brady, along with Josh Allen and a handful of others, spoke with the media yesterday. In case you missed any of it, you can find it on demand at WGR550.com. Looking around the NFL, Jacoby Brissett and Josh Sweat are both at Cardinals minicamp, but neither of them are practicing. Colts coach Shane Steichen said wide receiver Alec Pierce, dealing with an ankle injury, could end up returning a couple of weeks into training camp. And the Bengals, they restructured Joe Burrow's contract, and that frees up about $10 million in cap space for the upcoming season. In baseball yesterday, the Blue Jays, they beat the Phillies 3-2. The Yankees beat the Guardians 3-2. The Red Sox, they fell to the Rays 4-3. And the Mets, they fell to the Cardinals 7-0. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Headlines. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
Time for Hot or Cold, brought to you by Belknap Heating and Cooling. Joe Kelly is prepared with our topics to get to. He asks you to participate, send things in. We debate if something is, hot or cold. And to that point, if you notice a rattle in your ducts or a change in your heating and cooling bills, Belknap Heating and Cooling, give them a ring. 0% financing. The cost of a high-efficiency dual-fuel heating system is a breeze. Learn more at belknapheating.com. That's belknapheating.com. Go green, save energy, and money with Belknap. Schedule a free estimate on your new installation. Give Belknap a ring at 688-1728. For more comfort and less ka-ching, give Belknap a ring. Mr. Callie.
All right. So we've got 3 solid ones here this week, I think, that'll generate some
You
discussion.
found them. People sent them in. What do we got?
So I found most of these. We had a caller call in this morning about the second one, so I'm excited to get to that one. But we'll start. Adam Schefter. I think he's had a couple interesting posts recently. He posted Sean Stiletto, the agent, Tommy DeVito's agent, playing flag football, for trying out for Italy, whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
And over the last 24 hours on the Aaron Donald situation, because that's been a little bit of a topic since the trade went through for Myles Garrett, he said he thinks it's more likely than not he'll unretire. Soon after that said nobody said that. And then after that said this is just a guess, but the ingredients are there to make it happen. So he effectively, it was a net zero to the conversation, anything he contributed. As an insider, I don't know, it might be cold, I don't know. But as an insider, I feel like you got to be better than that, right? Like, I don't know. It's just a lot of nothing.
A responsibility to not
sure.
feed that out there, and then I see what you're saying.
It's just like, isn't it trying to get you to be the last one to say something about it before something happens or something like that?
Right.
I get it might be the job, but like, I don't know.
Just bothered you, rubbed you the wrong way.
A little bit, I guess. I don't know. That might be cold.
I don't know what to make of Donald potentially coming back. I mean, he's obviously posting videos to get people to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like
of course.
There's no doubt about it.
Hasn't he been posting workout videos though? Since he retired.
He does do.
I don't know how often he was doing it, but
right. That's my question too.
I actually remember him. Maybe what I'm thinking of is Jared Verse posting it because Verse was working out with him a lot in recent years.
Yeah,
and maybe that's what I ended up seeing. Maybe it wasn't from Donald's page.
Yeah, there was some he challenged Verse to come work out with him, and I guess he kind of kicked Verse's butt.
Right,
really put him through the ringer.
The reality is that the Rams are going to have probably the league's best defense anyway. So, Aaron Donald coming back would be an embarrassment of riches if he's still what he was when he left.
Does he even have to be that, though? Like,
they had a good defense.
He could be 70% of that.
They had a good defense. They added Myles Garrett and Trent McDuffie.
I mean, he was a first-team All-Pro his last year in the league. If he just was a good defensive tackle, they would take
it. Right, because Garrett's going to eat those double teams that he used to get. And if he's one-on-one and he's 70% of what he used to be, he's going to get like
70% of what he used to be might be what they have on their defensive interior. They have good players.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. So
you'd just be adding another one. Did you see what the Rams did with Myles Garrett's contract?
8 void years?
8 void years that run through 2038.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think there's a limit on void years, is there? There must be. I can't put 400 years of void years, can I?
Yeah,
probably
8
not.
Void years. 4 of them are vested void. I don't know what that really means. We get really deep into it.
Yeah,
but his new deal, 5 years, $208 million.
Yeah.
And his cap hit this year, Myles Garrett's cap hit right now is 8.4. Next year, 15. The following year, 27, 39, 48. A $48 million cap hit at age 35. But again, like, what will the cap be at that point? And will they care about that? Of course they won't.
No.
You know, that's what the cap is in the NFL. It's let's just borrow from our future and get a guy that's a first ballot unicorn defensive force at an $8.4 million cap hit.
Right.
When people say the cap's not real, that's what they mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Them in the
100%.
$8.4 million for Myles Garrett on a new deal. The cap's not real.
Right.
You can just do whatever you want.
It's crazy.
8 void years.
Yeah. Myles
That
Garrett.
is wild.
Interesting reporting as well. Next one. If Josh Allen, this is the one the caller called in with. If Josh Allen's 37 or 38, hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, knocking on wood, of course, because we're hoping that happened by then. After all has and would have done for the organization up to that point, are you considering trading him to a contender if the Bills aren't going to be knocking on the door with him at that point to give him that Super Bowl?
They haven't won a Super Bowl.
But in what scenario are they not a contender with him?
Right.
Where a contender would think we are a contender with him.
It would basically be he's still good, but not good enough to lift everything up anymore, and the team around him isn't good. So I'm going to Paul Coffey this, and I'm going to trade him to
I was going to say
whoever the Colorado Avalanche are.
Ray Bork.
Right.
Yeah.
What'd I say?
Paul Coffey.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You're going to Ray Borkus.
Both were 77.
Like, he's got to go somewhere and win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cold.
Okay. Cold.
Not happening.
I'm with you. I think he'll end his career as a Bill.
Yeah, I think that's the thing you might
I
be
think
fighting.
he'll end his career as a Bill for sure if they don't win one. He'll
If
go
they
to
win
he'll
one?
go to the end trying.
If he does-
if he's won a Super Bowl or two and he's 39 and the Bills are no longer great and he wants to go play in
LA.
San Francisco.
yeah, somewhere right, San Francisco,
right.
somewhere close to home. Like I could see that, but I think that only happens if the Bills have won a Super Bowl.
This is hot or cold. Like, Allen wins one this year. You only have to accept that the final 3 years of his career he plays somewhere else. You accept it? Everybody says yes, right?
Done.
100%.
Yeah, done
Go
deal.
ahead.
Right,
He can
yeah.
play
Fine.
wherever he
Yep.
wants. He can play with the Chiefs if he wants.
Yeah.
All right, here's your next challenge. Think of something a person would say no to that includes winning a Super Bowl. Because every time we offer, all right, you get a Super Bowl, but everyone's just like, done. Right? Like, I don't care what you say.
You get a. I mean,
You guys said you'd put a fitted sheet on a bed every day for the rest of your life.
We did say
Easily.
that.
I would not do that.
Oh, do that.
I would not do that.
Ride with the window down every day.
do it. Do that.
You have to eat an egg salad sandwich.
Not doing it. Nope.
The classic.
You can never golf again.
Not doing it.
For a Bills Super Bowl,
Yeah, not doing it.
That's a
Are
tough
you?
one.
I would take. I'm the only one that has to not golf again.
Yes.
I would say yes.
Yeah, the sport
I'll
doesn't
do it-
cease
I'll
to
do it.
exist for all of us.
I would do it for the community. You would be the most hated if the deal is publicly known. You'd be the most hated man in the area. You
yeah,
couldn't be
yeah.
a Bills fan anymore.
Okay. Yeah. In what scenario is that deal that I just said on the radio made public? People are like, wow, I can't believe that guy.
I'm going to make it
I
public.
can't-
Try to shame you
if,
into doing
If
it.
only he had stopped golfing, they would have won a Super Bowl.
Right.
Right.
How's the science work? No, wouldn't do it.
A genie? I don't know.
I mean, I need my mental health is important to me. All right, Joe, what
The
do you got
genie has gone on the air and has said what the deal was.
Just like the psychic.
next? I wouldn't sign up for genies.
No genies.
The entire point of it is you don't know if it's ever going to happen. If you know it's going to happen, it's not fun.
No, that's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Okay, food take next.
Oh, God. Shut down the show. Here we go.
The proper way to
shut
eat
the door.
pizza has been debated for what seems to be eons.
It has?
Yeah, fold versus
Fold,
flat.
no fold?
Hot or cold, like this segment.
Oh.
And I have to say, upside down might be the way.
My son eats it upside down.
You get all the flavor down right
crust first?
No.
Crust on the top. He tips the pizza upside down so there's cheese on the bottom.
Yeah.
He's eaten it that way his whole life. Crust top.
So then all the
crust
cheese and toppings.
You're looking at a piece of pizza.
Yeah.
Flip it. The cheese is on your
No,
tongue.
the
and
back. Okay, sorry.
you're calling it the back of the pizza, not
The back of the pizza.
not the bottom.
When I think of the crust, I think of what I'm holding.
I've never thought
at
of
the top.
pizza as having a back
No,
before.
me neither.
It definitely does.
It's the
I'm on the
bottom.
back
Because
side
when
of
you
his
said
pizza.
crust, I thought he was like holding it up in the air with like the crust is what is left, the breadstick at the end.
Yeah, the outside, like the
Yeah.
the diameter. No, the circumference.
I saw on social media, and this wasn't like meant to be like content, like it was just like a random.
Is this Bryce Harper? Okay.
No,
Give me yours then.
but it was like in the background of something else that someone was eating pizza crust first, and when I say crust, like they were eating
Yep.
the cheese last. If that makes sense.
Depends on the. I've had to do that when it's super like piping
If it's
hot.
super hot and you're hungry, you take a bite of that crust.
Crust, yeah.
That's a life hack. Yeah.
But going at like the middle of the crust, it just
The middle is tough. I go on the
Yeah,
outside.
that's what
upside down though. The like what your son does, then everything's gonna be dripping down.
Yeah, 5-year-old's not really good with
That's a mess.
clean eating.
Yeah.
I will say I love a good pizza fold.
Yeah.
Folding that thing.
I agree.
feel like if you can fold the pizza, you know what kind of pizza it is, and that's
it's
a good kind. It's a good,
It's the
a
best
good
kind.
folded pizza. Like I'm in for fold.
I'm totally in agreement there.
And I think cold pizza.
You could reverse fold.
reverse fold.
So the outside
all the way on the outside.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can kind of rotate
Yeah.
and you're not dripping. Okay, we figured it out, guys.
reverse fold.
Good job.
I think cold pizza is just not really any good.
Really?
I'm so with you. I don't get why.
I
It's
never
fine.
reheat pizza.
It's fine. If you heat it up, it actually just tastes better.
Right.
The taste actually does change.
I think the way you do it is going to be dependent. If you're microwaving that,
Oh, no.
I want the cold pizza. If you're going air fryer or oven,
toaster, or even in
any of
pan
those,
fry with
in a
a little
pan.
water.
Pan fry with some water.
Steam it.
to it.
Yeah,
in a
dude.
pan fry.
In a pan. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's how you get the back crispy.
It's the back.
It's the bottom.
It's the bottom of the pizza.
I'm talking the crust.
the crust is,
The crust is more than just the outside. The crust is the bottom also.
The underneath.
and it's also under all the toppings.
Undercarriage, maybe we want to go with.
Yeah.
The undercarriage.
It's not the crust, though.
The bottom is crust.
It is the crust.
But it is not the crust.
Is there the crust?
It is crust.
Is it not just crust?
It is crust. It is not the crust.
He's
It's
right
all
about
the crust.
He's right about that. The bottom is not the crust, but it is crust.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you say like, what, you're not going to eat the crust? No one would say I've eaten part of the crust on
Sure.
the bottom.
If for
Right.
some reason my wife said, "Save me the crust," and I handed her
The bottom.
the bottom of the pizza without cheese on it,
That's crust.
Is anyone else at the point where crust now sounds weird in their head because
A
we've
little
said
bit.
it
Little
80
bit.
times in this segment?
What if you took all the cheese off and then you rolled the bottom into like a cylinder, like a crust shaped with that bottom crust?
it would be like a burrito. Wouldn't
Is
it?
that
pizza log style?
Is that now crust? The crust.
You've made some monstrosity that I
Yeah.
don't think qualifies as crust.
That's how
I think
people-
you've made a pizza log.
People
but
argue-
you've made a pizza log.
People
You're right.
argue that's how pizza's eaten in Italy. They just roll
What?
an entire pizza.
Like a burrito?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And
There's
I've never
no
seen
way.
that before.
I'd do it.
I think that would be awesome.
I went to Italy 3 years ago, and I did not
You
see
never saw-
anybody rolling their pizza.
No pizza burrito.
First hand
No.
accounts. First hand accounts.
Anything else here for hot and cold?
No, we did get a tweet in. Jason, I know this might get you on the replay aspect of this, but Jason tweeted in, bring back the 2-line pass.
Oh.
Really glad I wasn't old enough to really understand what was
Me-
happening
yeah.
in the rule, because it's the worst rule.
Yeah.
So bad.
They got
Of
rid of
all
that
time.
in what, 05?
I think that was
Something like that? 05 or
lockout,
06?
right?
Yeah.
Sidney Crosby thinks they should bring it back. He is. He's a big proponent of it should come back.
It's because he's so smart and he's not that fast anymore. He thinks he could use it to his advantage.
Because I feel like I've watched him say it should come back.
Did you see, speaking of rules, did you see LeBron on the playoff format?
Yes, that everybody's against it except for Bettman.
Bettman's like on his own.
At the league level, which
I think means the moment Bettman retires, the playoff format is going away.
which is something Jeff Merrick suggested, that he's giving a gift to the new commissioner. When you get the job, make a change. People will like you.
Instant win.
I'll be the bad guy until I leave, and then you get a win when you become the.
Wait a minute, he's martyring himself for the next commissioner.
Jeff Merrick, that's his theory. It's his
Does
theory
not
that
sound like Gary Bettman.
I think he's a stubborn old man that likes the playoff format, and he's not doing it because it's a favor to Bill Daly.
Can't they put
or
it to
whoever.
a vote? Like somebody
That is also a good
call
point.
a mutiny.
Yeah, like why is this the thing that it just feels like the commissioner decides? Do I have that wrong? Like they don't vote on it? And if
I
so,
think-
all the owners are just voting
Well-
to keep this playoff
Yeah.
format rolling?
What I think it is that it's the owner's decision, and
Bettman
Gary,
is
I think, has a
influencing.
lot of influence on them, and he's probably telling them, like, listen, I like it. Don't, like, come on. Don't
Well,
mess this up.
I'm looking forward to it going away when he retires, if that indeed is how it goes. He's 74.
Yeah.
How much longer is he going to be commissioner?
He said something about that the other day, that he's, like, not immediately planning to leave, but also there's a whatever.
He has been the commissioner for 33 years.
Long time.
Has there ever been a commissioner? Like Stern maybe was commissioner that long.
long
wasn't he?
time.
So maybe it happens, but I mean Goodell's been a while now, right? When's Goodell? 05?
21 years.
Seems like a position you don't rotate out a lot.
No.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
All right, that's Hot and Cold, brought to you by Belknap Heating. For more comfort and less ka-ching, give Belknap a ring. We'll get a recap of mandatory minicamp with Sal coming up at 9 o'clock on WGR. I felt like that happened with Eichel in his last year here. What do you have,
Yes,
like
he
2
had the
goals
injury.
and 20 assists, and
He had 2 goals and 16 assists in 21 games.
which is kind of what his playoffs are right
he
now.
has 2 goals and 18 assists in 19 games
Yeah,
in this one.
Over
Yeah.
the course of a player's career, I don't know if you lose a little something or you just settle into a role, because when he got here, he was I don't know. I thought there was the potential to become an elite goal scorer.
Right.
The shot is so good. And the dangle, of course, is very good too. But he would absolutely roast goalies from angles that they thought were impossible.
Yeah.
And what's his career high in goals? Is it like 27?
36.
36.
That was here, but he's never topped. He's only topped 30 one other time.
Okay, 36 goals. And did he miss a couple games that year?
He missed 14 games.
Yeah.
So he had 1 year that was 2019-20. So that's the year actually COVID shuts the league down.
Right.
He was going to get to 40.
40 goals.
Yeah.
And now he does not look like a player that is even interested in scoring 40 goals.
No.
He looks
he's only got the 31 time in Vegas in 5 years.
It looks like he has, for better or for worse, like you can say that was a blip. He's a completely committed 200-foot player and does not think about wanting to get to 40 anymore, almost like he doesn't care about it. So, or he can't.
He might realize
or he just can't do it.
He might realize I've got a good shot, but I'm better at other things at this point.
Yeah. Brady says they've had a lot of discussions. Do you think they've ever had a discussion about bringing Diggs back? Because I still don't.
A discussion. Yes.
I think
it could have been a quick discussion, but
isn't the discussion, why is Dion saying, hey, Diggs, it's time?
Or could it be, hey, we're not doing that, right? No, we're not doing that. Does that qualify? As to this, like, just, somebody putting it out there in the air to make sure that there isn't some appetite to want to do that. Yeah, I would think it at least got to that. I mean, has the agent called them? Because then you're kind of forced, and you might have to have an internal discussion. But you've had a discussion with the agent if the agent is called.
The agent is called. Wouldn't you guess that?
I don't know. I mean,
Joe Kelly sent us. He posted another highlight video, a montage of himself in a Bills uniform.
Only Bills highlights. Yeah.
Only Bills highlights,
and it's 3 slides of Bills highlights. And he said ... back then.
I don't know. I would guess he has told his agent. His agents would be trying to find him a team somewhere.
Yeah.
And Buffalo probably comes up with them in their internal discussions.
It's also possible
and then if it does, then you call Brandon Beane and you see if there's any temperature and if the answer is, or any interest. If the answer is no, then all right, you called.
I wonder if the posting of just the Bills highlights, maybe it's a whatever. It's probably too far of a reach, but to show the league, like I used to be able to play. I don't know. He played well last year, but the fact that it's only Bills highlights is.
I mean, he really played well in each of the last 2 years. Just one of them got cut short due to injury.
ACL, right?
Like he was tracking towards a 1,000-yard season, which would mean he would have a streak of like 10 years in a row of 1,000-yard seasons if he didn't get that injury. So he definitely can still play. I don't know, but he doesn't need to be posting highlights on Instagram to remind the Rams of what he did 5 months ago as a Patriot. Like, it could be a lot of things. It could be that he genuinely wants to come back here. It could be that he doesn't have a market right now, and he probably looks around at all his buddies and sees, well, what do all my guys do when they don't have a market left? What does Gabe Davis do? What does Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer do? What does Trey White do? What do all the guys that I went to battle with for all those years do when there's nobody out there that wants them? They go home. I want to go home. And he might be the one guy that's not allowed to go home.
Sal coming up in a minute. We got to get in and out. We briefly mentioned Bryce Harper and the toothpaste thing. Maybe you haven't seen that. Mm-hmm. Truly, you didn't know you could brush your teeth like a lunatic, but America learned that when he takes the toothpaste and puts the nozzle in his mouth and squirts, and then the brush goes in.
Yes.
So the paste never goes on the brush. He just mixes them in the mouth like cereal, milk and cereal going at a different time.
Right.
Anyway.
Which means you cannot share that toothpaste.
No. I wouldn't think so.
You shouldn't share
I
that
wouldn't
toothpaste.
think so, right. Sal on the other side on day one of mandatory minicamp from the Bills. Get his recap, your calls if you want to chime in as well here on WGR.
And they might go back to Freddie Anderson in the next game. Brindamore talked to did he even reference the Sabres series in the Eastern Conference Finals, or somebody did, that Brindamore said that Anderson just needed a break, and that either he or somebody else referenced the Cam Ward Gerber thing in 06. Like, Ward went out, came back in, and they won. And that he might be thinking, like, that worked then, I'll do that now. Bussy got a game, went well. Anderson just needed a day off, and I'm gonna put him back in. So he might switch back to his goaltender, which would kind of be crazy after the other guy won a Stanley Cup final game.
The Sabres goalie rotation has made it to the final?
It has.
Here we are.
It's made it to Carolina. Yeah. Although I don't think Lindy ever would have made a switch after a win.
That's a great question.
He could have. You could have gone into the playoffs saying, I'm going to rotate no matter what.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
loss, doesn't matter.
Didn't the rotation disappear? And what really happened was just like, I'm going to decide how I feel because we don't have a number one?
Correct.
Like, really.
It became make it, take it.
Right. In the regular season, it was a rotation. In the playoffs, it wasn't.
Right.
That's it. Like,
it wasn't a real
It was
rotation.
not a true rotation. It was play, and if I don't feel like you're playing well enough, I'll switch you to somebody else.
Right.
So, I don't know, would they have done that in the regular season? Had they done that in the regular season, it's worth asking, like, how many games would they have played? If it had just been, you're staying in until you have 2 bad starts, then maybe one guy ends up with 50 games because they went on that heater at the second half of the season. I felt like that happened with Eichel in his last year here. What do you have,
Yes, he
like
had
2
the
goals
injury.
and 20 assists? And
He had 2 goals and 16 assists in 21 games.
which is kind of what his playoffs are right
he
now.
has 2 goals and 18 assists in 19 games in this one.
Over the course of a player's career, I don't know if you lose a little something or you just settle into a role, because when he got here, he was, I don't know, I thought there was the potential to become an elite goal scorer.
Right.
The shot is so good, and the dangle, of course, is very good too, but he would absolutely roast goalies from angles that they thought were impossible.
Yeah.
And what's his career high in goals? Is it like 27?
36.
36.
That was here, but he's never topped. He's only topped 30 one other time.
Okay, 36 goals, and did he miss a couple games that year?
He missed 14 games.
Yeah.
So he had 1 year that was 2019-20. So that's the year actually COVID shuts the league down.
Right.
He was going to get to 40.
40 goals.
Yeah.
And now he does not look like a player that is even interested in scoring 40 goals.
No.
He looks
he's only got the 31 time in Vegas in 5 years.
It looks like he has, for better or for worse, like you can say that was a blip. He's a completely committed 200-foot player and does not think about wanting to get to 40 anymore, almost like he doesn't care about it. So, or he can't.
He might realize
or
that
he just can't do it.
He might realize I've got a good shot, but I'm better at other things at this point.
Yeah.
The Carolina Hurricanes tied the Stanley Cup Final Series 2-2 after their 5-3 win over Vegas last night. Game 5 set for tomorrow night. Puck drop at 8 o'clock. All of the action will be right here on WGR with pregame starting at 7:30. The NBA Final rolls on tonight. The Knicks lead the Spurs 2-1 in the series. Tip-off set for 8:30. A mandatory minicamp underway for the Bills as Joe Brady, along with Josh Allen and a handful of others, spoke with the media yesterday. In case you missed any of it, you can find it on demand at WGR550.com. Looking around the NFL, the Bengals, they restructured Joe Burrow's contract. That frees up about $10 million in cap space for the coming season. Jacoby Brissett and Josh Sweat, they're both at Cardinals minicamp. Neither of them are practicing. And Colts coach Shane Steichen said wide receiver Alec Pierce, dealing with the ankle injury, could end up returning a couple of weeks into training camp. And in baseball yesterday, the Blue Jays beat the Phillies 3-2. The Yankees beat the Guardians 3-2. The Red Sox, they fell to the Rays 4-3. And the Mets, they fell to the Cardinals 7-0. Make sure to catch Shope and Bulldog today in the 4 o'clock hour for Beef on Weck Wednesday. Brought to you by Connor's Restaurant, 3465 Seneca Street. It's your chance to win a $50 gift card to Connor's, where every Wednesday score 4 Connor's Beef on Weck meals for just $55 or 1 for $15, because Connor's is better. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet, with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
Sal joining us on the Western Hotline. Bills mandatory minicamp, another day for the media to watch today. And Sal, I'm going to bring him in on the phone here. Sal, are you at the stadium yet, or on your way there later today?
No, I'll see you this morning. Actually, I just got done speaking to the West Seneca Rotary, great club, great right. People, and they asked me to speak. We found a date. Today was the date, and it was great. So I'm just leaving that. Jumping on with you guys. I'll actually see you. I have to come over to the station. And then later today, I'll be down at the stadium. And it's actually interesting you ask, because it ties into actually talking about camp, because Joe Brady, this is a window into, guys, like what it's going to be like in the regular season. They're going to have later practices. Like the practices start at like 2:15 basically. And under Sean McDermott, practices were at 12:30. You're going to have later days basically this year. And it's just a little bit of people say, what's different? Like, that is something that's going to be different.
Yeah. Well, when you do go to the stadium, I'm getting a report of workers assembling around the area where perhaps Buffalo would be assembled. So if you could please, report back with expediency is when you're down there. Maybe stop, take a picture if you could. We've got all our boots on the ground that are trying to get pictures to see if the giant Buffalo installation has begun. Anyway,
all right. We'll have to keep a lookout for it.
Well, back there for day 2. Sal, what'd you see in day 1 of mandatory minicamp? We heard from head coach Joe Brady, but what are impressions? What'd you come away with in day 1?
Well, the first thing I look at is attendance and ask about, and I don't normally, ask like the first question of a presser unless, the way it works is he comes out, and sometimes Joe Brady or whoever it is will have an opening statement. Sometimes just wait for questions. Well, he just kind of looked at us, so I just said, hey, is everybody here? And his answer was, everybody's here. That's number one. Like, is everybody there? Everybody was at practice. So that's great news. That doesn't mean everybody participated in practice. There are no hold-ins. These are injury related. And that's the number 2, which is you go out in the field and you say who's participating, who's not. I think to start with the positive, holy cow, guys, like Michael Hoyt's doing individual drills out there. I mean, it's pretty insane to see. Like, man, this guy tore the Achilles back on November 5th. I know that because he knows that, and he said the date. And he's out there doing individual drills after we saw him just working off to the side with trainers, throughout OTAs. No Skylar Bell. You wonder, okay, what's going on there? But he did come out later to work on the jugs machine. He had a sleeve on his leg. So I don't think it's anything, too serious. Same thing with Cole Bishop. He was on the sidelines watching. Spencer Brown was on the sidelines watching. But I think the most significant injury news is Dorian Williams has some sort of injury he must have suffered in the offseason. He was seen on crutches by Matt Bove. We talked about it. It's always game day in Buffalo. People want to, check that out from the post-practice recap last night. but Matt saw him. And also Joe Brady did tell us that he had an injury, did not specify exactly what it was, but we know it's not the neck injury he had in the playoffs last year. He was seen on crutches, so that's a pretty significant development here.
Do you feel like, Sal, for Williams specifically, it's tough? It would be tough for him to continue to be unavailable, given that he's in one of the only battles, you would think, on the entire roster?
Yeah, I do, Joe. I think it is tough now. Beyond Terrell Bernard and Caleb Elarms, or okay, you do have Joe Andreessen, Keontae Jenkins. I still think Dorian Williams has a chance if he can get to training camp and get on the field to be even win a starting job. But I think that's going to be tough to beat that Caleb Elarms, and I do think that he's still going to be a part of this team. I think the biggest question we don't know yet is when is he going to be available? When will he be able to actually be on the field? Brady said they're hoping for training camp. Well, look, he's missing a lot of these off-season workouts. That is opportunity. You hate to see it because of injury, but it's the game. That is opportunity for Caleb Elarms, who I think now has to have that inside track to be the starter next to Terrell Bernard week 1.
What are the biggest differences between the two, Sal? Because it feels like Williams, even if he didn't, we go the spring and the summer here, and he doesn't end up winning a starting job. Like, he really wasn't a full-time starter the last 2 years either, and he played 59% and 47% of defensive snaps. Like, I think because of his speed, right? Like, he's always been a guy that it feels like they've found pockets to get him onto the field.
I think, Joe, more than that probably, though, is the fact that you had both Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard who had missed a bunch of time, right? And, I mean, look at Shaq Thompson coming in last year. Milano was banged up. Terrell Bernard got banged up more last year, as we know. And I think that gave opportunity to Williams. But you're right. There were also times where the Bills said, we're going to run 3 linebackers. We're going to get him on even as a pass rusher. I remember they used him as a spy against Patrick Mahomes. So I think there's a role for Dorian Williams. And let's remember, he's on the last of a 4-year rookie deal. For his, that's a good contract for him, right? You can live with that. This is a guy that's a part-time player who could wind up being a starter. He's the last year of a 4-year rookie deal. That's nice. But you also have to feel a little bit for him if he can't get on the field right now, because he's trying to do whatever he can to show that he can get a second contract with the Bills or whatever other team. But you're right, Joe. They have found ways to get him on the field because he has grown as a player. That's the speed, and being under control was the big thing for him. He was not under control enough early on in his career. So those were the injury updates. Otherwise, what I saw, guys, I know you can't tackle people, but James Cook was just exploding runs sometimes, and you're like, okay, there he is. There's James Cook. We didn't see him in OTAs, but he looked like James Cook. I think Keon Coleman had a really good day yesterday. Keon Coleman caught a couple of really nice passes from Josh Allen, a couple bullets, and on one of them actually was really interesting. Catches the pass, and then IGB, Davison Igbinosun, kind of got his arms around him, a little physical maybe. Keon didn't like it. Tosses the ball at him. There's some pushing. They both go, but it's kind of, I think you want to see a little bit of that attitude from Keon. You know what I mean?
Early favorite for training camp fight, that matchup, you think?
Ooh, that's a good one. That could be it. That could be it for sure. If we're taking odds, I think that would be. Although I think C.J. Gardner-Johnson would have to be on anybody's list because he just gets under everybody's skin.
Right.
I heard Alan talking about him yesterday. Everyone says the exact same thing. He's loud. It's that's it. Whatever you think of him, for better or for worse, you could just say he's loud, and that gets the message across.
Yeah, and guys, there's a reason why he's been on a lot of teams, and a reason why he got moved off from a lot of teams. And I say that because he's a really good player, and he can really help a team, and then he wears out his welcome, and that's okay if you're gonna help. He's gonna help you win. And I think the same thing will happen here. He's on a 1-year deal for a reason, right? He's on a 1-year deal. We'll see how it goes, and he knows he's got to perform to get another contract with the Bills or another team. But he is a really good football player, and I think he's exactly kind of what the Bills were looking for in free agency to be able to move Cole Bishop around, because C.J. Gardner-Johnson is better the further away he is from the ball, and he could be a ball hawk. The question with him on the field has been a little bit of the discipline. I don't mean that from a character standpoint. I mean that from a football standpoint, meaning vacating where you're supposed to be, taking a risk you're not supposed to take. But holy cow, he also makes incredible plays because he does take risks.
Sal Capaccio with us on the Western Hotline. Sal, Joe Brady speaking yesterday about, you mentioned Cook looking explosive yesterday. How did Brady sound about the workload that Cook got last year? Because Ray Davis made an interesting comment this week about wanting the ball more. Tyler Dunn had that. And Cook did he lead the league in carries? And we know he led the league in rushing. How did Brady sound on the running back workload?
He said, he would like to get the ball to Ray Davis and Ty Johnson more, but he also knows how great James Cook played last year, and he played at such a high level, and there's a balance there, right? So basically he's talking about striking that same balance, and how do you do that? Do you take the guy off the field who's having an amazing year and leading the league and, rushing and yards per carry, or at least close to it? Do you think about he's getting the ball a little bit too much? I just think as James Cook goes another year, gets a little bit older, gets a little more wear and tear, those things have to start creeping in a little bit. You got to start thinking about that. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Ray Davis and or Ty Johnson get a little bit more of the workload this year. But it's a tough balance, Joe, and Joe Brady recognized that yesterday. So we'll see how it goes. I think that we might see James Cook even involved in the passing game a little bit more, because I think Joe Brady with Pete Carmichael, guys, go look at Pete Carmichael's history. Look at the offenses he's been in. Look at the running backs he had. LaDainian Tomlinson, Alvin Kamara. My assumption is he's going to have an influence on the running backs being involved in the passing game for the Bills. So maybe you still get James Cook with a lot of touches, the same amount of touches or close to it, but maybe it looks a little bit different this year in a different form.
Sal Capaccio on the Western Hotline chatting with us about mandatory minicamp. Sal, did you get the update on Josh Palmer also looking like he was making progress?
No specific update other than watching him, and he took part in everything I could see, Jeremy. He was, doing regular individual drills, and then he was on the field, during 11-on-11, and seems like he's, full go, ready to go. I still wonder what that looks like, as we talked about earlier this week at the wide receiver room. It's funny. Jeremy, it's so funny. You have been talking about wide receiver for quite a while, but it's such a talking point in Buffalo with everybody. I am at the West Seneca Rotary speaking this morning at a breakfast, and when I'm like, yeah, you guys got any questions? And people are asking me about, are they going to add to the wide receiver room right away? And it's pretty funny actually. So yeah, I think everybody recognizes that it's a really interesting group. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but I believe it just comes down to Josh Palmer's health and Keon Coleman, his development on and off the field and what they think about him.
At that group, have they talked at all about, or has Brady talked about, or what's your perception of what they have blocking there? As a blocking skill set. They've really talked about that being important, whether it was Mac Hollins or when Coleman got drafted. I know he's still here, Sal, but if you look at the depth chart, or what you might think the depth chart looks like, a lot of people would look at Moore and Shakir and Palmer before you would get to probably anybody that you would think of for, okay, they're going to run the ball a lot and how important blocking is. Unless, do you think of Palmer and Moore as those type of guys that could help there if they are indeed starters?
A little bit. I don't think I don't think you're taking DJ Moore off the field because he can't block, but you're also not asking him to be a primary blocker. I think DJ Moore can be on the field in all situations, and he will. That includes even red zone. I think DJ Moore is going to be on the field a lot. We know Khalil Shakir is a very willing blocker. He's not the biggest guy, but he will definitely help out in that regard. He's used to playing near the line of scrimmage in that role a little bit. I think they're very comfortable with that. I can't see Palmer doing that much. Keon Coleman was really learning that and getting physical. That Seattle game, was awesome when he took the guy to the sidelines and showed that he could do something like that. I think the key here, too, is a guy like Trent Sherfield, where if Tyrell Shavers isn't available, I've believed, I don't know if this is, accurate or not, we'll see how it plays out, but I believe that Trent Sherfield is basically the Tyrell Shavers insurance and the replacement. So, if you want another guy in the field to help block, Trent Sherfield, I think, is a good blocker. He's done it, and they would feel very comfortable with him on the field. You also have to remember, Dalton Kincaid getting a little bigger, getting a little more physical the last couple of years. Now you have Jackson Hawes. It doesn't have to come from the wide receiver group. If you can have your tight ends continue to develop and be guys who can flex out and still block, guys in line and still block, it can come from there. Yesterday Joe Brady was asked about fullback. he said, you don't want a fullback on the roster just to have a fullback. I get, yeah, it's great. Well, what's he going to do? But he talked about, that same thing, blocking in the run game, but catching passes out of the backfield, doing all these different things. So it's a good question, Joe. I don't know what their expectation level of their wide receivers to block is this year compared to other years. I just think that as a collective group, they're going to want to have guys at different positions that are able to help in that regard.
Right, because it's just been a role where and maybe these guys were surprises that when Hollins was signed, did anybody think at that moment he'd play as often as he did? And that was a part of why he did. And Shavers last year plays 40% of the snaps on offense, partially for that. And right, I just look at their receiver group right now, and I guess you kind of went through the list, and why maybe this doesn't have to be the case. Is there somebody that we're not thinking about right now playing a lot on offense that might play more than we think, and that's why they would play more?
Yeah, I can't see that. I think if anybody does, I guess it'll be the Sherfield/Shavers guy, right? We know that they like Shavers, but it could be that. But you go beyond that, what are you looking at? Nicole Hardman is really a speed guy and a return man, right? I mean, I can't believe they would think Skylar Bell is going to step in and be that kind of guy.
Right.
To me, Skylar Bell is a true wide receiver. He's going to be out there catching passes, but sure, I mean, if you can't block, you're not it limits the amount of times you don't want to tip the defense at everything that's happening all the time. You got to be able to block a little bit. So he's a guy in that regard that you can kind of look at. It's going to be really interesting to see how they formulate this roster. And I mean, they're going to keep 5, I would think, but again, if they want to go beyond that, that guy's got to play special teams in some capacity. I think the 5th guy's got to play special teams in some capacity. So yeah, I think there's a lot to be decided there.
Sal, one thing I want to bring up 2 names here. When we were talking about linebackers, I meant to ask you about Shaq Thompson, and earlier today we talked about Brandon Cooks. And I wonder, do you think there's any way that what the Bills are doing now in OTAs is getting a look at as many bodies as they can, as many players as they can, and, the roster is full, but the speed dial would be ready for either of those players in a scenario where they get through minicamp and think, all right, well, I don't think this guy has it. I know it's not real football till the pads go on, but Shaq Thompson is a guy that I think a lot of Bills fans might expect to come back, and that hasn't happened yet, right? So, you just are they in a spot where maybe Jim Leonard would even be treating this time to be extended auditions for players that might not even make it to training camp?
Yes, I would say so. I would think that everybody on this roster, maybe there's a guy that, doesn't go to camp. Maybe there's 2 guys and back end of the roster, they flip it a little bit. That's possible, right? I think, though, Jeremy, for the majority of these guys, they're going to go to camp. But no doubt, to answer your question about speed dial, and you guys know, I've said this to you for years and years. One thing I learned a long time ago from talking to NFL GMs and personnel people is veterans take care of their bodies, and you don't have to have them this time of year, and you can have that luxury of kind of figuring out if the other guys can play. And then if you need a veteran, you can call on him in August. He's going to come in and play. Let's take Brandon Cooks. Let's take Shaq Thompson, your exact examples here that you brought up. These are the kind of guys, if you call them in August, they're in shape. They're going to come in. They're going to pick up the offense. They're going to pick up the defense. There's not much of a learning curve and onboarding situation going on there. So that gives you the luxury, Jer, of giving that extended audition, as you say, to some of these guys and go, okay, I'm gonna roll with this guy for a couple more weeks. If I don't like what I see, I'm calling those guys because they're going to come in right away and play. And I would not doubt if it doesn't have to be them. Let's go back into Jim Leonard's history. Is there other guys that he could wind up doing that with? I absolutely think that could happen.
All right. Sal Capaccio heading down later today for day 2 of mandatory minicamp.
And live coverage of the Buffalo installation.
We have conflicting reports. Somebody else just drove by and said, I have not seen much relating to Giant Buffalo construction. So let's see what we can do. Conflicting reports. Sal, I'll trust whatever you tell me. So when you get down there, let me know.
I'll try and take a look. They may have it didn't David Copperfield make the Statue of Liberty disappear once? I think
he did. They said it's too big. They said once it starts happening, we're going to know. So thanks, Sal.
You got it.
I got a great stat. Stat of the day? Sure. Why not? Right? Stat of the day I saw about NFL quarterbacks and I won't necessarily make this trivia, but it's going to be a fun little exercise. All right? You up for a little exercise?
Sure.
Stat of the day brought to you by Jan's Smoke Shop 2 and Gas Mart, where everything about Jan's Smoke Shop is smoking. So here we go. Scott Barrett posted this. He's a fantasy football, fantasy points and fantasy points data. 2 different stats. The last 3 seasons in quarterbacks, expected points added per drop back. Number 1 is Brock Purdy. Number 2 is Josh Allen. Number 4 is Drake May. I left out number 3, okay?
Okay.
So EPA per drop back, Purdy, Allen, mystery placeholder, Drake May. In adjusted net yards per attempt, that's sacks count and all that. And Lamar, mystery placeholder, Goff, Stafford. Okay?
Yep.
So this mystery placeholder is 3rd in EPA per dropback and 2nd in adjusted net yards per attempt in the last 3 seasons. Care to guess what mystery placeholder is?
There's one name that is in my head.
There is not. It is not a name. That's the key here. It's not one quarterback. It's a It's a category of quarterback. This is the point that Scott Barrett is making.
Okay. So it's not Jordan Love.
It is not Jordan Love.
Okay.
Purdy, Allen.
It's a category.
A category of quarterback, Drake May. Lamar, category of quarterback, Goff, Stafford.
Is it?
It's 3 quarterbacks over the 3 years combined rank here in this stat. Hope it's not too convoluted the way I'm getting
Is
at
it basically like 3 guys that haven't played full seasons?
No. I'll just give it to you because it's hard to guess, but it makes a point. Clint Kubiak quarterbacks.
Oh, okay.
3 quarterbacks in 3 years. One of those is Purdy. One of those is Derek Carr. One of those is Sam Darnold.
Right.
So Clint Kubiak quarterbacks are 3rd in the NFL in EPA per dropback in the last 3 seasons.
Right.
So Kirk Cousins, Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, what is going on there?
I don't know, but the Raiders, like,
but that's a coach that you should expect is going to get
we have
a lot out of his quarterback.
I think a lot of football fans that know a lot have a respect for Kevin Stefanski or Kevin O'Connell. Well, get ready for Clint Kubiak to be the next one because he gets a lot. He gets a lot out of his guys and has done it 3 years in a row with 3 different guys. Granted, Purdy does it in the Shanahan tree all around, but a 24 Derek Carr and a 25 Darnold to add to that list. So whether that's Mendoza or,
It'll probably be Cousins to start. They're talking like Cousins to start, and then Mendoza will get in at some point. Just depends how long.
I think so.
Huh. Could it go well enough then with Cousins that really fends off Mendoza getting in? I don't know. Cousins looked so shot physically last year.
Yeah.
That I would wonder that. I'd actually be more excited to get to let's get to it. Let's get to Mendoza with Kubiak and see if that could be something.
Super secret Buffalo installation stadium sculpture source.
Yeah.
Says they are still in Lancaster, Pennsylvania for final inspection.
Okay. That doesn't mean they couldn't be getting things ready though.
Any day now, right.
In front of the stadium. That's not okay. So what highway is that in between?
What do you mean? Like
what's the best way?
How do you get here from Lancaster, PA?
Yeah,
that's a great question. If we played one of those games where you showed me a map of Pennsylvania and said point to Lancaster, I would not know where to point.
No, I wouldn't. Have no
idea,
no chance. All right, so this is the Philly drive.
Yeah, roughly. They're coming up 81.
Yep. All right, so look out for flatbeds on 81.
Maybe they're not coming up 81. No.
Coming up.
You're not going 81.
You could honestly go a couple different ways.
You're not, but you wouldn't go to 81. You're taking like back roads. 17, is that what this is? You're going through Williamsport. You're going straight south. 390 up the 90 across. You could do that.
Yep.
I don't know. You ever seen?
But you might not want to do back roads because of the things you're hauling. On
all right.
Back.
To this point,
they might go 81 to the 90 and just say like it's going to take an extra 45 minutes, but we're gonna go that way.
This is a very, very deep pull and related to nothing other than trucks with giant cargo. Have you ever seen the documentary about sorry. There's like a art installation in California that is just a huge rock, and it's over. You can walk underneath it. What the heck is it called? It's it's like the biggest single rock you could ever have. Big rock move truck Netflix documentary. Like that's what I'm going.
Levitated mass?
Yep. Yes.
Two things I'm learning about here. I didn't know about the David Copperfield making the Statue of Liberty disappear thing. So I've got that page open for another time. And now this.
Levitated mass. You see the rock,
I'm looking
right?
at it. Yeah.
It's a huge rock over basically a walkway.
Right.
There's a documentary how they got that giant rock to that facility, to that place.
Spot. Yeah.
And the very specific way they had to drive through these places with these. I mean,
yeah. It's not as simple as you put it on the back of a truck.
Yes,
and
and go on the highways. Like, no, can't go under this overpass, can't go here, can't go there. Going through, I mean, it's not exactly riveting, but I watched it. Have you found
a documentary on how they moved a rock?
Yes.
From a quarry to a walkway.
IMDb rating of 6.9. Levitated mass, yeah. It's a 340-ton boulder. Yep.
You would recommend this documentary?
Listen, I'm not one to talk right now.
You didn't say yes.
I'm in my old person stage where the thing about smart TVs, I've noticed this is happening. So a hockey game, we're watching a hockey game, it goes to intermission, and I'll back out. And channel surfing, maybe I'm going to sound like the oldest person alive because all of you have done this forever, and I'm just kind of bringing it up now. I don't channel surf, I YouTube surf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
definitely.
I'll just open up YouTube, and then what's up there? Why are there no large cities in northern Australia? All right. Click. Next thing you know.
It's probably like a 7-minute video.
No, it's like 25 minutes. Next thing you know,
25.
we're deep into the second period of the hockey game. I'm like, not now, Chief. I'm learning about Australia.
Yeah, see, I in that situation, I'm not picking a video more than 10 minutes long.
Well, I didn't
for a
think,
hockey game.
I didn't think I'd go in for all 25 minutes, but it captures.
But it could get you.
If it captures you.
Right. If it's a good enough video, you're going to want it for all 25 minutes.
Also sells.
See, now you're going to be getting related videos about it. Well, I guess you already were getting video recommendations about Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sal points out it's not Lancaster, PA. It's Lancaster, PA.
What's the distinction there? Just
Lancaster.
Lancaster.
Not Lancaster.
Lancaster. Okay. Fine. Is it Lancaster, New York?
No, it's Lancaster.
Okay.
Are there two pronunciations of Rochester though?
What's the other one?
Rochester. Rochester. This is Syracuse and
sounds so similar to me.
This is like Hellenuse and Hellenuse. This is Syracuse and Syracuse. Right. Some people say Syracuse. Some say Syracuse.
We're not chasing sound with that Rochester distinction. We're changing pacing.
Well, one is the
Rochester.
Rochester, and one is Rochester.
Rochester. Yeah, you're right.
Rochester. It's cadence, you're right.
So that one is so minuscule that I don't even want to venture into those waters. And I don't also know which one I say. Rochester.
Look at this. We got info. Being a truck driver from Lancaster, they'll probably take 80 over to 219, come right up to the stadium. Not too many bridges to go under. They shouldn't have to worry about the bridges. I mean, these Buffalo are going to be disassembled and then assembled on site. Thanks, Chuck. 80 over to 219.
Okay.
Lancaster.
Couldn't you just would it be easier to just say, let's get like 6 helicopters and attach 2 wires to each, and they tandem pull them?
If you want to go for
the
the coolest thing they could do, yes, helicoptering a herd of buffalo in would be cool.
Yeah.
And there's only 3 of them, 3 buffalo.
How hard would it be? Is 6 helicopters enough? Would you need more than that?
Presumably harder than just driving them here.
I'm not sure about that.
I think you should
It depends what route you take.
I think you should watch that Levitated Mass for your birthday tomorrow.
That's what I should do?
Yeah.
That or
watch
Star Wars Episode 2.
Levitated Mass, way better.
Come on.
Way better.
Way better.
Yeah. All right, we are late for a break. We owe you a break. 803-0550. The World Cup begins tomorrow. Get excited. I am. Jeremy and Joe here on WGR. Brady says they've had a lot of discussions. Do you think they've ever had a discussion about bringing Diggs back? Because I still wait here for. I still
Riverfront.
don't.
A discussion. Yes.
I think
it could have been a quick discussion, but
isn't the discussion why is Dion saying, "Hey, Diggs, it's time"?
Or could it be, "Hey, we're not doing that, right?" No, we're not does that qualify? As to this, like, just, somebody putting it out there in the air to make sure that there isn't some appetite to want to do that. Yeah, I would think it at least got to that. I mean, has the agent called them? Because then you're kind of forced, and you might have to have an internal discussion. But you've had a discussion with the agent if the agent is called.
The agent is called. Wouldn't you guess that?
I don't know. I mean,
Joe Kelly sent us. He posted another highlight video, a montage of himself in a Bills uniform.
Only Bills highlights. Yeah,
only Bills highlights,
and it's 3 slides of Bills highlights. And he said ... back then.
I don't know. I would guess he has told his agent.
Is he not?
His agents would be trying to find him a team somewhere.
Yeah.
And Buffalo probably comes up with them in their internal discussions.
It's also possible
and then if it does, then you call Brandon Beane and you see if there's any temperature and if the answer is, or any interest. If the answer is no, then all right, you called.
I wonder if the posting of just the Bills highlights, maybe it's a whatever. It's probably too far of a reach, but to show the league, like I used to be able to play. I don't know. He played well last year, but the fact that it's only Bills highlights is.
I mean, he really played well in each of the last 2 years. Just one of them got cut short due to injury.
ACL, right?
Like he was tracking towards a 1,000-yard season, which would mean he would have a streak of like 10 years in a row of 1,000-yard seasons if he didn't get that injury. So he definitely can still play. I don't know, but he doesn't need to be posting highlights on Instagram to remind the Rams of what he did 5 months ago,
right? As
a Patriot, it could be a lot of things. It could be that he genuinely wants to come back here. It could be that he doesn't have a market right now, and he probably looks around at all his buddies and sees, well, what do all my guys do when they don't have a market left? What does Gabe Davis do? What does Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer do? What does Trey White do? What do all the guys that I went to battle with for all those years do when there's nobody out there that wants them? They go home. I want to go home. And he might be the one guy that's not allowed to go home.
For more comfort.
Now's the perfect time to make yourself comfortable with a new electric heating and cooling system from Belknap.
In Western New York, summer and winter bring extreme temperature conditions. Make yourself comfortable with Mitsubishi electric heat pumps, designed to keep your home cool in the summer and warm in the winter, no matter how hot or cold it gets outside. Call Belknap today to learn more.
I'm Gary Garflow, president of Belknap. We work on your schedule. We don't charge more for weekends and evenings. That's why we say,
give Belknap a ring.
And they might go back to Freddie Anderson in the next game. Brindamore talked to did he even reference the Sabres series in the Eastern Conference Finals, or somebody did, that Brindamore said that Anderson just needed a break. And that either he or somebody else referenced the Cam Ward Gerber thing in 2006. Like, Ward went out, came back in, and they won. And that he might be thinking, like, that worked then, I'll do that now. Bussy got a game, went well. Anderson just needed a day off, and I'm gonna put him back in. So he might switch back to his goaltender, which would kind of be crazy after the other guy won a Stanley Cup final game.
The Sabres goalie rotation has made it to the final?
It has.
It's
made it to Carolina. Yeah. Although I don't think Lindy ever would have made a switch after a win.
That's a great question.
He could have. You could have gone into the playoffs saying, I'm going to rotate no matter what.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
loss, doesn't matter.
Didn't the rotation disappear? And what really happened was just like, I'm going to decide how I feel because we don't have a number one.
Correct.
Like really,
it became make it take it.
Right. In the regular season, it was a rotation. In the playoffs, it wasn't.
Right.
That's it. Like
it wasn't a real.
It was
rotation.
not a true rotation. It was play, and if I don't feel like you're playing well enough, I'll switch you to somebody else.
Right.
So I don't know. Would they have done that in the regular season? Had they done that in the regular season, it's worth asking. Like, how many games would they have played? If it had just been you're staying in until you have 2 bad starts, then maybe one guy ends up with 50 games because they went on that heater at the second half of the season. "20 years ago yesterday, the movie Cars game series, and you guys can tell me if it's stupid or not. All right?
Okay.
What if I said to you, what's the most important game in a 7-game series, 1 through 7, and I think there is a right answer. If they don't win tonight, if you're the biggest Knicks fan in the world, you were up 2 games to none, going home, you felt like you were going to, it's ours.
You're going to sweep.
You lose tonight.
You haven't lost in a month.
Right. You lose tonight, and it's, oh, God. And last night, Vegas-Carolina, right? Vegas wins that game. That game got to 3-3, from 3-1 to 3-3. Now, instead of chokehold, one team ever has come back from down 3-1 in the Stanley Cup final. Instead of that, brand new series.
Yeah.
Like
home ice, best of 3 for Carolina.
Yeah, right.
Game 4.
Yeah, it's game 4.
I think it's more important than game 5. Like a 2-2 series, game 5, whatever.
Yeah,
you can win 6-7.
Yeah.
But if you're down 2-1 and you lose that 3 in a row, so game 4.
The whole feeling of the series is so drastically different.
It really pivots a lot on game 4.
Right.
That's
yeah, because it will feel like if the Knicks win tonight, it is over. It's over. Like, Spurs are good, but winning 3 in a row, and if tomorrow morning they've won, I'm going to feel like the Spurs are winning the series if they find a way to win tonight. That's crazy different.
Yeah.
The only time it wouldn't be true is when it is 3-0. But how often is a series 3-0? Wouldn't numbers probably say that it's way more likely going to be 2-1?
Probably.
In any sport.
Probably.
So, in the instance that it's 3-0, I wouldn't say that about Game 4. But as long as it's 2-1, then it's definitely Game 4. Definitely.
All right, well, glad we settled that. Well, tonight...
Like Game 4, Sabres and Senators was like, in 2007, was not
right.
dramatic.
You stay alive, but
it felt like it was over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tonight's Knicks-Spurs game feels huge.
It is. Wemby did not get a retroactive flagrant one, which Knicks fans are very upset about because they're still yelling about the officials from 2 nights ago.
Yep. Are they not going to find a flagrant for him tonight?
I don't think they will because I think they don't want to play around with the idea that they'll give him one in Game 7. They are not going to risk because he's a shot blocker. You can get a flagrant without trying to get a flagrant. If you go up to block a guy's shot and you miss and you hit him in the head, you can get a flagrant. And they are not going to invite a scenario where they give him a flagrant and then in Game 6, he goes up to block a shot, misses, hits a guy in the head, and now he's not playing Game 7.
So we have a situation
they're
where
not going to let that
he's
happen.
protected from flagrants for fear of an actual accidental flagrant.
Yes, that's
the
I think
that's the deep theory.
That's my theory.
Yeah.
It might be conspiracy. It might be unfair to the Knicks. I can't imagine the NBA inviting a scenario where he misses a game 6 or 7 with a suspension. I can't see it. I don't think they would do it. The Knicks fouls thing, by the way, did you see what the defense for it was? Or why they were upset? It was just because of the count.
Yeah, 24-8.
24-8.
In the second half.
Yeah, did anybody not want to point out that the first half it was 16-8 and the other way?
Yeah.
The 24-8 was bad, but it was kind of evening out what the first half was. It's just not. If we're just going to count fouls and not really look at what the fouls were, then I think you're just being upset to be upset about it. Still can't decide in that series who I want to root for either. Well, I like both teams.
Knicks.
I like both teams.
Yeah, the Knicks for me.
Knicks are definitely the Knicks are definitely getting more rooting.
Also,
from people.
There's a good way to decide who it would be better for is think of who it would be worse for if you lose.
Oh, for the Spurs, it wouldn't be
fine.
Bad at all.
You've won recently. You know you're going to continue to be good. If the Knicks lose from up 2 games to none, it would be devastating.
Yeah.
So just to avoid someone feeling devastated, the Knicks fans would be devastated. Spurs fans would be like, all right.
We're gonna run the league for 10 years anyway.
Yes.
We're not worried.
Yeah. So go Knicks.
That's a good point.
I'm rooting for the Knicks.
That's the best point I've heard yet to get to the Knicks, is who would be more upset to lose? Absolutely Knicks fans.
If you
in a runaway.
Yeah, and if you want to apply that in the NHL, would you say Carolina would be more upset?
It would be Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you might be thinking about one, just that you've been doing this so long and haven't gotten there yet. Will you get back? And also that you got a pretty good draw this year. If you were Carolina, you got who they play in the first round? Ottawa.
Yep.
Not the easiest challenge, but
close series that ended in 4 games.
But I got Ottawa, and then I got Philly, a team with 22 regulation wins in the second round of the playoffs. I got all that rest, right? They were off for half a month before they got to go play Montreal. Who even them? That's not Tampa. Florida's not there. You probably feel like there's no better draw for you. You could win it in a year where it's a tougher draw, but this is the easiest draw you're probably ever going to get. So if you didn't win it as Carolina, they'd be way worse for them. Vegas just won 3 years ago.
The World Cup tomorrow. Mexico and South Africa. Have you put together our league? Are we going to do this?
We have a league. I'm waiting on 2 more people to give me an answer on
snake
a yes
draft.
Or no. One of them is Bulldog.
Okay, snake draft, and there'll be a lottery, right?
There will be a lottery. We'll do random.org. We'll pick an order. What spot do you want?
You want something in the top. You want something in the top 6.
So for this league, it's just pretty simple. 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw. We're not going to do anything beyond that. No 50-point bonus for winning the World Cup, because really then it would give advantage to the top couple people. Probably. Because not out of this 48 teams, how many teams can actually win the World Cup? 6, 8?
Yeah.
I feel like this kind of works out. 48 teams. You get 12 people together. You draft 4 each.
I get
and
4
honestly,
teams.
It works out to where the guy drafting first overall is drafting last. So, congrats. You get France or Spain, but you also are the person who's getting stuck with Curacao.
Well,
who's probably going to get annihilated in their 3 games.
Isn't that true of the last 8 picks? Not just the last.
I feel like there's a couple that really stand above the rest.
Here's a strategy that you and I will talk about. Are these 2 in the league too?
Yes.
All right, well, I'm going to give you this little nugget. Will someone else in the league do this or not? Pick against yourself, and by that I mean 2 of your teams are in the same group. You want to make sure you don't do that, right?
You don't. I wouldn't want to do that.
However, if you do that, you are guaranteed advancing.
Right. You better be sure that team. Here's where you could do that.
You pick the first and second best team in a group, thinking these 2 will get out. I'll get wins and ties, and then on to the knockout stage, I've got 2 teams that are going to make it through. I think your goal is you're trying to get as many teams that make it to the knockout stage as you can.
I think, though, for that strategy, you would want you would want one of your teams to be a team that you think can win it all.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're probably going to have to make up some points in the knockout rounds. You know, like you should be able to do that if your team goes to like the final. But like I would not do that with the US and Turkey. They're the two favorites in their group.
Right.
Like you could employ that strategy with those two. You will both get through, but neither of those countries, I think, are winning the World Cup. So I feel like you're less likely to make it up in that group. If you want to pick a group that like France is going to lead it, then I think that makes sense.
I mean, here's the case. Like, there's really one. I'm trying to think like what group has two really good teams in it
that could like win the World Cup.
It might be L if you think like Croatia or Ghana.
Yeah,
it's England, Croatia, and Ghana.
Croatia could.
Okay, so England and Croatia, you'd have as your two teams.
Sure.
Like knowing when they play each other, I'm going to lose points.
That, yes.
But
that's a group I think that would make sense for. Group A, Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and Czechia. Wouldn't do it in that group because none of those four
Group F
are winning the World Cup.
Netherlands, Sweden. You could make some noise. A little bit.
Okay.
Anyway, Germany, Curacao.
Group H. That would work. Spain and Uruguay.
Okay, that's a good one too. Yeah,
that would be actually. There's a couple. Group I is France and Norway. Norway's like the seventh betting favorite to win.
Yeah.
I think in certain groups that actually would be a good strategy. Maybe Portugal and Colombia is another one.
Extendo Sports, and then we're out of here on WGR. Brady says they've had a lot of discussions. Do you think they've ever had a discussion about bringing Diggs back? Because I still don't.
A discussion. Yes.
I think
it could have been a quick discussion, but
isn't the discussion why is Dion saying, "Hey, Diggs, it's time"?
Or could it be, "Hey, we're not doing that, right?" No, we're not doing that. Does that qualify? As to this, like, just, somebody putting it out there in the air to make sure that there isn't some appetite to want to do that. Yeah, I would think it at least got to that. I mean, has the agent called them? Because then you're kind of forced, and you might have to have an internal discussion. But you've had a discussion with the agent if the agent is called.
The agent is called. Wouldn't you guess that?
I don't know. I mean,
Joe Kelly sent us. He posted another highlight video, a montage of himself in a Bills uniform.
Only Bills highlights. Yeah,
only Bills highlights,
and it's 3 slides of Bills highlights. And he said, ...
Jeremy,
back then.
Wayland Brewing.
I don't know. I would guess he has told his agent.
Is he not?
His agents would be trying to find him a team somewhere.
Yeah.
And Buffalo probably comes up with them in their internal discussions.
It's also possible
and then if it does, then you call Brandon Beane and you see if there's any temperature and if the answer is, or any interest, and if the answer is no, then all right, you called.
I wonder if the posting of just the Bills highlights, maybe it's a whatever. It's probably too far of a reach, but to show the league, like I used to be able to play. I don't know. He played well last year, but the fact that it's only Bills highlights is.
I mean, he really played well in each of the last 2 years. Just one of them got cut short due to injury.
ACL,
right? Like he was tracking towards a 1,000-yard season.
Yep.
Which would mean he would have a streak of like 10 years in a row of 1,000-yard seasons if he didn't get that injury. So he definitely can still play. I don't know, but he doesn't need to be posting highlights on Instagram to remind the Rams of what he did 5 months ago
right.
as a Patriot. Like, it could be a lot of things. It could be that he genuinely wants to come back here. It could be that he doesn't have a market right now, and he probably looks around at all his buddies and sees, well, what do all my guys do when they don't have a market left? What does Gabe Davis do? What does Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer do? What does Trey White do? What do all the guys that I went to battle with for all those years do when there's nobody out there that wants them? They go home. I want to go home. And he might be the one guy that's not allowed to go home.
I felt like that happened with Eichel in his last year here. What do you have,
Yes, he
like 2
had the
goals
injury.
and 20 assists?
He had 2 goals and 16 assists in 21 games.
Which is kind of what his playoffs are right now.
He has 2 goals and 18 assists in 19 games in this one.
Over the course of a player's career, I don't know if you lose a little something or you just settle into a role, because when he got here, he was, I don't know, I thought there was the potential to become an elite goal scorer.
Right.
The shot is so good, and the dangle, of course, is very good too, but he would absolutely roast goalies from angles that they thought were impossible.
Yeah.
And what's his career high in goals? Is it like 27?
36.
36.
That was here, but he's never topped. He's only topped 30 one other time.
Okay, 36 goals, and did he miss a couple games that year?
He missed 14 games.
Yeah.
So he had 1 year that was 2019-20. So that's the year actually COVID shuts the league down.
Right.
He was going to get to 40.
40 goals.
Yeah.
And now he does not look like a player that is even interested in scoring 40 goals.
No.
He looks
he's only got the 30 one time in Vegas in 5 years.
It looks like he has, for better or for worse, like you can say that was a blip. He's a completely committed 200-foot player,
right,
and does not think about wanting to get to 40 anymore, almost like he doesn't care about it. So, or he can't.
He might realize
or
that
he just can't do it.
He might realize I've got a good shot, but I'm better at other things at this point.
Yeah. The start of the World Cup. Who's not excited? Knicks and Spurs tonight, and maybe some update on the Buffalo from Sal, although we think it's going to wait a couple days. Northtown Automotive Extra Point Show coming up.